Hey everybody, and welcome to BuzzList, the channel that's all about, well, everything. Today we're taking a totally rad trip back in time to the 1980s. So grab your leg warmers, tease up that hair, and get ready to party like it's 1989. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our awesome videos. A huge shout out to all of you who are already subscribed. You guys are the best. All right, let's start with the ultimate hangout spot, the arcade. Remember the feeling of walking into a room filled with the sounds of Pac-Man gobbling dots, Donkey Kong tossing barrels, and Galaga spaceships firing lasers? It was pure magic. The air was thick with anticipation, and the smell of popcorn and pizza was enough to make your mouth water. Every kid emptied their piggy banks hoping to conquer their favorite game and rack up enough tickets for that sweet, sweet prize. And let's not forget the epic battles for the high score, bragging rights for a whole week. And when you finally beat that boss or racked up a new high score, man, that feeling was better than any participation trophy. It was pure 80s arcade glory. Before Spotify and Apple Music, we had these magical plastic rectangles called cassette tapes. They were how we listened to music, shared our favorite bands, and created the ultimate mixtapes for our crushes. Remember spending hours carefully queuing up the perfect song on the radio, finger hovering over the record button. And if you were really fancy, you had a double cassette deck and could duplicate your entire music collection. But the real struggle was when that tape got tangled. We've all been there, staring down at a mess of brown ribbon, pencil in hand, desperately trying to wind it back up. It was a labor of love, my friends. But hey, those mixtapes, those were serious business. They were a way to express yourself, to share a piece of your heart and your musical taste. A carefully curated mixtape was the ultimate romantic gesture, a sign that you really, truly liked someone. Okay, picture this. It's Saturday morning, the sun is barely up, but you're already glued to the TV, pajamas on, cereal bowl in hand. Why? Because it's cartoon time, baby. We're talking He-Man, Transformers, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, all the legendary shows that made Saturday mornings epic. These weren't just cartoons, they were events. You'd gather around the TV with your siblings, or maybe just your dog, eyes glued to the screen, completely engrossed in the adventures unfolding before you. And let's be real, we totally tried to imitate those cool cartoon moves afterward. Don't even try to deny it. Saturday morning cartoons were our gateway to imagination, a chance to escape into worlds filled with talking robots, superheroes, and magical creatures. It was a simpler time, a time when the biggest decision you had to make was which cereal to eat first. The bold fashion of the 80s. All right, let's talk fashion. The 80s were all about bold choices, neon colours, leg warmers, acid wash, jeans, and, of course, the bigger the hair, the better. We're talking hairspray sculptures that defied gravity, perms that could withstand a hurricane, and crimped waves that would make a surfer jealous. And who could forget the shoulder pads? We were all about power dressing, even if it meant looking like we had a linebacker's shoulder pads hidden under our sweaters. Hey, at least we stood out in a crowd, right? But here's the thing about 80s fashion. It was fun. We weren't afraid to experiment, to push boundaries and to express ourselves through our clothing. It was a time of individuality, of embracing the outrageous and of rocking those neon headbands with pride. Hold on to your joysticks, because we're about to enter the world of classic video games. The 80s were a golden age for gaming, with consoles like Atari and Nintendo. This was the era of Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda, games that defined a generation. Remember blowing into those cartridges when they wouldn't work, or spending hours trying to beat your high score? Back then, graphics didn't need to be fancy and gameplay was king. We were happy just to navigate those pixelated worlds and save the princess. These games were more than just entertainment, they were a social activity. We'd invite our friends over, crowd around the TV, and spend the entire afternoon battling it out. Let's crank up the volume and talk about the music that defined the 80s. This was the decade of Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince, Whitney Houston, icons who ruled the airwaves and our hearts. From pop to rock, new wave to hip-hop, the 80s music scene was a vibrant tapestry of sound. And who could forget MTV? Music television burst onto the scene, bringing us the magic of music videos. Suddenly, we weren't just listening to our favorite songs, we were watching them come to life. Remember trying to imitate Michael Jackson's moonwalk or Madonna's Vogue dance moves? We all did it. The 80s were a time when music was more than just background noise, it was a cultural phenomenon. We'd rush to the record store to buy the latest cassette singles, blast our favourite tunes from boom boxes the size of suitcases, and dance the night away at school dances. Okay, get ready for a serious dose of nostalgia. Remember drive-in theatres, that magical experience of piling into the family car, or maybe sneaking a date in and watching a movie under the stars? It was the ultimate summer night activity. We'd load up on popcorn, candy and soda, roll down the windows, and settle in for a night of cinematic entertainment. The sound might have been a little staticky, and you might have had to adjust the speaker hanging on your car window, but it was all part of the charm. Drive-ins were more than just a place to watch a movie, they were a community gathering spot. Families would spread out blankets and lawn chairs. Kids would run around playing tag before the movie started, and teenagers would try to sneak a kiss in the back row. It was a simpler time, a time when entertainment was best enjoyed outdoors, surrounded by friends and family. From action figures to dolls, the 80s were a toy lover's paradise. We're talking Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, My Little Pony, Cabbage Patch Kids, toys that captured our imaginations and fueled countless hours of playtime. Remember spending hours building elaborate Lego creations, staging epic battles between He-Man and Skeletor, or creating fantastical worlds for your My Little Ponies? Those toys weren't just plastic and fabric, they were our companions, our confidants, and the stars of our own imaginary universes. And let's not forget the joy of unwrapping a brand new toy on Christmas morning. Whether it was the Millennium Falcon, a Cabbage Patch Kid, or a set of Transformers, those toys held a special kind of magic. They were a symbol of childhood, of imagination, and of the pure, unadulterated joy of play. Fasten your seatbelts, because we're about to take a wild ride through the world of 80s movies. From iconic action flicks to heartwarming coming-of-age stories, the 80s produced some of the most memorable and beloved films of all time. We're talking The Breakfast Club, Back to the Future, E.T., The Goonies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Movies that defined a generation and continue to resonate with audiences today. These films weren't just entertainment, they were cultural touchstones that captured the spirit of the decade. Whether you were a fan of sci-fi adventures, teen comedies, or John Hughes's heartwarming dramas, there was an 80s movie out there for everyone. These films transported us to different worlds, made us laugh, made us cry, and left us with memories that would last a lifetime. All right, let's talk accessories. Because no 80s outfit was complete without a healthy dose of neon sparkle and maybe even a little bit of fringe. We're talking leg warmers, scrunchies, jelly bracelets, neon headbands. The bolder, the brighter, the better. Remember rocking a side ponytail with a scrunchie the size of your fist? Or wearing enough jelly bracelets to rival a rainbow? And who could forget those neon headbands that could make you stand out in a crowd from a mile away? 80s accessories were all about expressing your individuality and embracing the fun, the funky and the fabulous. They were a way to add a proper personality to your outfit and let the world know that you weren't afraid to stand out. And there you have it, folks. 10 things we miss about the totally rad 80s. From arcade games to cassette tapes, big hair to classic movies, the 80s were a time of unforgettable memories and endless fun. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane and hit that subscribe button for more awesome content. And now it's your turn. Share your favourite 80s memories in the comments below. What do you miss most about this iconic decade? Let's keep the 80s spirit alive. Hey everybody, welcome to BuzzList. We're so glad you could join us today. If you're like me, you're stuck in the past. The awesome past, that is. The 90s were a time of pure magic, filled with unforgettable moments and trends that still make us smile. We're talking about the 1990s, baby. A decade that brought us some of the most iconic pop culture moments and technological advancements. From Tamagotchis to Blockbuster, the 90s were a wild ride of neon colors, questionable fashion choices, and the birth of the internet as we know it. Remember the excitement of renting a movie for the weekend, or the frustration of waiting for your Tamagotchi to hatch? Make sure you're subscribed, because today we're taking a hilarious trip down memory lane with 10 things we miss about the 90s. We'll dive into the trends, the toys, the tech, and the tunes that defined a generation. And a huge shout out to all of you who are already subscribed. You guys are the coolest cats and kittens. See what I did there? 90s slang. So grab your slap bracelets, put on your favorite flannel, and let's get started on this nostalgic journey. Whether you lived through it or just love the era, there's something here for everyone. Let's celebrate the decade that gave us so much joy and left us with memories that will last a lifetime. First up, we've got those little digital tyrants we all know and kind of resented, the Tamagotchi. These tiny, egg-shaped devices were the bane of every 90s kid's existence, yet we couldn't get enough of them. These things were basically keychains that demanded constant attention. They beeped at all hours, reminding you that your digital pet needed something: food, playtime, or just a little bit of love. You had to feed them, play with them, and make sure they were happy. It was a full-time job for a kid, and it taught us a lot about responsibility, even if it was just for a pixelated creature. And let's not forget the less glamorous side of Tamagotchi ownership, cleaning up their digital poop. It was basically like having a real pet, but without the warm cuddles and unconditional love. Instead, you got a screen full of pixels that needed constant care. But hey, at least you didn't have to ask your parents for a dog. For many of us, Tamagotchis were the perfect compromise. They were a way to prove we could handle the responsibility of a pet, even if it was just a virtual one. Remember the crushing guilt when your Tamagotchi inevitably died? It was like losing your best friend, or at least your best pixelated friend. The screen would go dark and you'd be left with a sense of failure. It was a tough lesson in the fragility of life, even if it was just a digital one. But those little devices also taught us about perseverance and starting over. But don't worry, you could always just hit the reset button and start the cycle of digital neglect all over again. It was a fresh start, a new chance to be a better virtual pet owner. And so the cycle continued, teaching us about resilience and the importance of second chances. Over time, Tamagotchis evolved, offering more features and more complex care routines. They became more than just a fad. They were a cultural phenomenon that left a lasting impact on a generation. There were even communities of Tamagotchi owners who shared tips and tricks, creating a sense of camaraderie among those who were dedicated to keeping their digital pets alive and well. Today, Tamagotchis are a nostalgic reminder of a simpler time, when our biggest worry was keeping a tiny digital pet happy. They may have been demanding, but they were also a source of joy and a unique part of our childhood. And guess what? Tamagotchis are still around today, with modern versions that continue to capture the hearts of new generations. So whether you're a 90s kid reminiscing about the past, or a newcomer discovering the charm of these digital pets, Tamagotchis remain a beloved part of our digital history. Next up, let's rewind to Friday nights at Blockbuster Video. Remember the anxiety of trying to pick the perfect movie from a wall of VHS tapes? It was like a museum of cinematic history, except you could take these artifacts home for a night. For a small fee, of course. And don't even get me started on the late fees. Those little slips of paper were like parking tickets for procrastinators. But hey, at least you could rewind to your heart's content, unlike those newfangled DVDs. Ah, the symphony of the 90s. No, not Nirvana. I'm talking about the sweet, sweet sound of dial-up internet. That screeching, hissing, beeping noise that meant you were just moments away from the information superhighway. Of course, moments in dial-up time was relative. It could take like an hour to download a single song. And heaven forbid someone pick up the phone while you were online. It was like the internet gods were punishing you for trying to multitask. Remember Saturday mornings? No, not sleeping in until noon. I'm talking about waking up at the crack of dawn to catch your favourite cartoons. The excitement was palpable, as if the entire week had been building up to this very moment. It was the only time you could justify eating sugary cereal for breakfast while watching superheroes battle it out on TV. The crunch of the cereal, the vibrant colours on the screen, it was a sensory overload in the best way possible. From Animaniacs to X-Men, Saturday mornings were the best way to kick off the weekend. Each show had its own unique charm, its own universe to get lost in. The characters felt like friends, their adventures a shared experience. And let's be real, those 90s cartoons had some of the catchiest theme songs ever. They were more than just jingles, they were anthems that defined a generation. I dare you to try and get the DuckTales theme song out of your head now. Go ahead, I'll wait. It's impossible, right? That's the magic of those tunes. They stick with you, bringing back a flood of memories every time you hear them. Picture this. You in your pajamas, a bowl of cereal in hand, eyes glued to the TV screen. The world outside didn't matter. It was just you and your favourite characters. Even the commercials were part of the experience. Ads for the latest toys and cereals made you dream of what you could ask for on your next birthday or holiday. Meanwhile, your parents were probably in the kitchen, making a more traditional breakfast, but you were in your own world, a world where anything was possible. And after the cartoons were over, you'd spend hours reenacting the episodes with your action figures, letting your imagination run wild. Come Monday, the playground would be abuzz with talk of the latest episodes. Who had the best powers? What was the funniest moment? It was a shared culture, a bond that brought kids together. And let's not forget the merchandise lunchboxes, backpacks and t-shirts that let you carry a piece of that Saturday morning magic with you all week long. Planning for the next Saturday started almost immediately. You'd check the TV guide, making sure you didn't miss a single episode of your favourite shows. Setting your alarm clock was a ritual, ensuring you'd be up in time to catch every minute of the action. Those mornings were pure joy, a time when the simple act of watching cartoons could make you feel like the happiest kid in the world. So here's to Cartoon Saturdays, a cherished tradition that brought endless joy and unforgettable memories. Long live the magic of Saturday morning cartoons. Before Spotify playlists ruled the world, we had the art of the mixtape. Remember spending hours meticulously curating the perfect playlist for your crush? It was like sending a love letter set to music. And let's not forget the frustration of rewinding a cassette tape with a pencil when your Walkman ate it for lunch. It was a labour of love. But hey, that's how we rolled in the 90s. Hey look, it's a bean-stuffed plushie. We were all going to be rich. Remember those little bean-filled creatures that took over the world? Beanie Babies weren't just toys, they were investments. Or at least we thought they were. People were convinced these things would be worth a fortune someday, so they were hoarding them like they were going out of style. Spoiler alert, they went out of style. But hey, at least we have fond memories of Princess the Bear and that creepy-eyed spider Spooky. You've got mail? Those three little words were like music to our ears back in the day. AOL Instant Messenger, or AIM as we affectionately called it, was the OG chat platform. It was how we stayed connected with friends, gossiped about our crushes and perfected the art of the away message. Remember spending hours crafting the perfect combination of lyrics and emoticons to convey your current mood? It was basically an early form of social media, and we were all about it. Let's be real, Pogs were basically just cardboard discs with pictures on them, but for some reason, they were the hottest commodity on the playground in the 90s. We'd spend hours battling it out with our slammer, trying to flip over our opponent's Pogs and claim victory. And don't even get me started on the trading, it was like the stock market of elementary school. Okay, let's be honest, some of the fashion choices in the 90s were questionable at best. We're talking about flannel shirts, overalls, scrunchies, and enough neon to make your eyes water. But hey, it was the 90s. We were all about grunge, hip-hop, and anything that screamed rebellion. And let's be real, some of those trends are making a comeback. So maybe we were onto something after all. Finally, we have to give a shout-out to the arcades. Those dimly lit havens of video game glory were where legends were made. Remember spending hours pumping quarters into Street Fighter II or Pac-Man? The competition was fierce, the graphics were pixelated, and the sound effects were gloriously 8-bit. It was a simpler time, a time when you didn't need a fancy gaming console to have fun. All you needed was a pocket full of quarters and a dream. And there you have it, folks. 10 things we miss about the 90s. From Tamagotchis to arcades, the 90s were a decade of fun, laughter, and some truly questionable fashion choices. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button for more hilarious content. And be sure to let me know in the comments what your favorite 90s memory is. I'm curious to hear all about your nostalgic adventures. Top of the morning to you. Welcome to BuzzList, your one-stop shop for myth-busting and crack. Today we're diving into 10 myths about Ireland that have been lingering around like the smell of Guinness in a Temple Bar pub. A massive thanks to all you lovely subscribers who keep the comment section livelier than a session with the Dubliners. Hold on to your shamrock hats because we're about to separate fact from fiction. So pour yourself a cuppa, or a pint, I won't judge. Sit back and get ready to have your perceptions of Ireland turned upside down like a pint glass on Paddy's Day. Ah, the fiery crown of the Irish. It's true, we have a reputation for being a nation of redheads. But if I had €1 for every redhead I've met in Ireland, I wouldn't be a millionaire. Red hair is stunning, like a field of poppies after a spring rain, but it's rarer than you might think. The global average for redheads is around 2%, and while Ireland boasts a higher percentage, it's closer to 10%. That's 10 times the global average, but not quite the ginger paradise some imagine. We're a diverse bunch, with hair colours as varied as the shades of green in our rolling hills. So, if you're planning a trip to Ireland, pack your sunscreen, but don't worry too much about bumping into a sea of redheads. Ah, the leprechaun. Those mischievous little shoemakers with their pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. They're as synonymous with Ireland as shamrocks and Guinness. But are they actually real? Well, you're more likely to find a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow than a real leprechaun. Some say they're descended from the Tuatha De Danann, the mythical beings who inhabited Ireland before the Celts. Others believe they're mischievous fairies, forever playing tricks on unsuspecting humans. But let's be honest, the only leprechauns you're likely to encounter these days are the ones selling souvenirs in Temple Bar. Still, the legend of the leprechaun persists, a whimsical reminder of Ireland's rich folklore and our enduring love of a good story. Now, let's talk about everyone's favourite black nectar Guinness. Yes, it's true, we Irish do have a certain fondness for the black stuff. But to say that it's the only thing we drink? Well, that's like saying Irish dancing only involves river dance. Ireland's pub scene is as diverse as its people. Walk into any pub worth its salt and you'll find a selection of craft beers that would make a hipster weep with joy. From crisp lagers to hoppy IPAs, there's a brew for every palate. And let's not forget about our burgeoning whiskey scene. And for those who prefer a non-alcoholic tipple, fear not, we've got you covered with our excellent tea. So while a pint of Guinness might be the quintessential Irish drink, it's by no means the only one. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather the rain cloud over the Emerald Isle. Yes, it rains in Ireland. Sometimes it drizzles, sometimes it pours, and sometimes it does that sideways thing that makes you question the laws of physics. But to say that it rains all the time, well, that's just plain balderdash. We get all 4 seasons in Ireland, often in the same day. One moment you might be basking in the warm glow of the sun, and the next you're caught in a sudden downpour. We have glorious sunny days where the sky is as blue as a robin's egg, and then we have days where the rain falls with such ferocity that you'd swear Noah's Ark was about to make a reappearance. The rain keeps our countryside lush and green. It gives us an excuse to cozy up by the fire with a good book, and it makes those sunny days all the more precious. It's a delicate balance that makes Ireland so unique. So pack an umbrella, but don't forget your sunglasses. You never know what the Irish weather might throw at you. One thing's for sure, it keeps life interesting and the landscape's ever-changing. Now, let's delve into the fascinating interplay between these languages in Ireland. Chenchawi Bufuiltu. Don't worry, I'm not going to subject you to a whole video in Irish. But it's a great way to start our journey into the linguistic landscape of Ireland. This brings us to our next myth, that everyone in Ireland speaks Gaelic fluently. It's a common misconception that needs addressing. Now, while it's true that Irish is our official language, and you'll see it on road signs and official documents, the day-to-day language for most people is English. It's the language of business, media, and daily conversation. Don't get me wrong, Irish is a beautiful language, full of history, poetry, and a unique charm that reflects our rich cultural heritage. And we're making great strides in reviving it with numerous initiatives and programs aimed at promoting its use. But for most of us, it's a second language, learned in school and trotted out for special occasions like St. Patrick's Day or cultural festivals. So, while you might not be able to hold a full conversation in Irish, don't be afraid to try out a few phrases. The locals will appreciate the effort, and it's a wonderful way to connect with the culture. Now, let's talk about St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, and his legendary act of driving all the snakes out of the Emerald Isle. It's a tale as old as time, or at least as old as the 5th century, when St. Patrick is said to have rid us of these slithery pests. The story has been passed down through generations, becoming a cornerstone of Irish folklore. But here's the thing, there's no evidence that snakes ever actually lived in Ireland. Not a single fossil or historical record points to their existence on the island. Ireland became separated from the rest of Europe after the last ice age, and snakes, being the landlubbers they are, never made it across the sea. The cold waters and harsh climate made it impossible for them to migrate. So while St. Patrick might have banished snakes from Ireland in legend, the truth is they were never here to begin with. The island's unique geography and climate kept it snake-free. Some scholars speculate that the snakes St. Patrick banished were actually a metaphor for paganism. This theory suggests that the story symbolizes the spread of Christianity and the decline of old pagan beliefs. Either way, you can rest assured that you won't encounter any snakes on your Irish adventure. The lush landscapes and historic sites are completely snake-free, unless, of course, you count the one you might find after a few too many pints of Guinness. So enjoy your trip and maybe raise a glass to St. Patrick. Ah, the luck of the Irish. It's a phrase that conjures up images of four-leaf clovers, pots of gold, and leprechauns. But let's be honest, we Irish are about as lucky as anyone else, which is to say, sometimes we're lucky and sometimes we're not. The origins of this myth are debatable. Some say it stems from the California gold rush, where many successful Irish miners struck it rich. So, while we might not have any special connection to Lady Luck, we do have an optimistic spirit and a knack for finding the humour in any situation. Picture this. Rolling green hills, thatched roof cottages and sheepdogs herding fluffy sheep. It's a charming image right out of a storybook. And while you will find pockets of rural Ireland that fit this idyllic description, it's not the whole story. Ireland, like the rest of the world, has embraced modern living. We've swapped our donkey carts for electric cars, well, some of us have, and our thatched roofs for solar panels. We've got bustling cities with skyscrapers that touch the sky, and we've got Wi-Fi in most of our pubs. So, while you might find the odd thatched cottage on your travels, don't be surprised to see a Tesla charging up next to it. Hold on to your potatoes, folks, because it's time to debunk the myth that Irish food is bland. Yes, we love our potatoes and our soda bread is legendary, but Irish cuisine is so much more than just boiled spuds and brown bread. Our island boasts fresh seafood, succulent lamb and dairy products so delicious, they'll make you want to dance a jig. And let's not forget about our traditional dishes like Irish stew, a hearty combination of lamb, potatoes and vegetables that will warm you from the inside out. So ditch the preconceived notions of blandness and get ready to experience the true flavours of Ireland. And finally, let's address the other elephant in the room, or rather the misconception that's bigger than the Blarney Stone Island being part of the UK. To put it simply, Ireland is an independent nation with its own government, laws and customs. We've had a long and complicated history with our neighbours across the Irish Sea, but we've been flying solo for quite some time now. Think of it this way. Ireland and the UK are like siblings who used to share a room. So next time someone asks you if Ireland is part of the UK, you can politely correct them and then dazzle them with your newfound knowledge of Irish history and culture. So there you have it. 10 myths about Ireland well and truly busted. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to BuzzList for more myth-busting fun. Until next time, Slán go foil. Hey everybody, welcome back to BuzzList, the channel that's all about fun facts, crazy stories and things that make you go, what? Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane with a blast from the past. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the world of compact discs with 10 strange facts about CDs that'll blow your mind. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our awesome videos. And a huge shout out to all our amazing subscribers. You guys rock. All right, let's get into it. Did you know that the first commercial compact disc was produced in 1982? It was a collaboration between Philips and Sony, and the first CD ever pressed was a copy of ABBA's The Visitors. Imagine that, a piece of music history right there. CDs were revolutionary because they offered a much higher sound quality compared to vinyl records and cassette tapes. They were also more durable and portable, making them a game changer in the music industry. But CDs weren't just for music. They also played a huge role in the world of computers. Remember CD-ROMs? These discs could store a whopping 700 MB of data, which was a big deal back in the day. They were used for everything from software installation to multimedia encyclopedias. Here's a fun fact. The design of the CD was influenced by the size of a Dutch beer coaster. The engineers wanted the disc to be small enough to be portable, but large enough to hold a decent amount of data. Talk about a quirky design inspiration. Despite their durability, CDs were notorious for getting scratched. But did you know that you can often fix minor scratches with a bit of toothpaste? Just gently rub it on the scratch, rinse it off, and your CD might just play like new. Another cool thing about CDs is the way they reflect light. When you hold a CD up to the light, you can see a rainbow of colours. This is because the surface of the CD is covered in tiny bumps and grooves that diffract the light, creating that beautiful spectrum. Even though digital downloads and streaming have taken over, CDs are still popular with audiophiles who appreciate the high-quality sound. Plus, many artists release special edition CDs with bonus tracks and exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else. Collecting CDs has also become a hobby for many people. Some rare CDs can be worth a lot of money, especially if they're in good condition and have unique cover art or limited edition releases. And let's not forget about the environmental impact. While CDs are made of plastic, they can be recycled. So if you have old CDs that you no longer need, consider taking them to a recycling centre instead of just throwing them away. In the end, CDs hold a special place in the history of music and technology. They bridge the gap between analog and digital, and their legacy lives on in the way we listen to and store music today. Thanks for joining us on this nostalgic journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And as always, stay tuned to BuzzList for more awesome content. See you next time. Okay, first up, did you know that CDs were originally designed to hold about an hour of music? And guess what inspired that magic number? Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Yep, Those classical music dudes really knew how to stretch out a tune. Can you imagine listening to an entire symphony on repeat? That's some serious dedication to classical music. Next up, let's talk about the first commercial CD pressed right here in the good old US of A. Any guesses? It was none other than Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. That's right, the boss himself ushered in the CD era. I bet you can still picture that iconic album cover, right? Talk about a piece of music history. Now, let's talk storage, baby. A single CD can hold up to 700 megabytes of data. That's like a gazillion floppy disks. Or for you younger viewers, imagine a whole bunch of those tiny USB drives, but even smaller. And get this, 700 megabytes translates to about 80 minutes of audio. That's a whole lot of music crammed onto one little disc. Ever wonder what makes a CD so shiny? Well, get ready for this. The reflective layer of a CD is made of aluminum. That's right, the same stuff they use to make soda cans. Who knew something so ordinary could look so cool? It's like a mini disco ball in your hand. Okay, time for some serious tech talk. CDs are read by lasers, but don't worry, we're not talking about those giant death ray lasers from sci-fi movies. These lasers are super tiny and precise. They're like the ninjas of the tech world, silently reading all that data from your favorite CDs. If you take care of your CDs, they can last for a really long time. Like a really, really long time. CDs, or compact discs, were first introduced in the early 1980s and quickly became the standard for audio storage. They were revolutionary at the time, offering a digital alternative to vinyl records and cassette tapes. We're talking about an average lifespan of 100 years. That's right, with proper care and storage, a CD can last a century. This longevity is due to the durable materials used in their construction, including polycarbonate plastic and a reflective metal layer, usually aluminum, that's longer than most of us will be around. Imagine a piece of technology that could be passed down through generations, preserving music, data and memories for your grandchildren and even great-grandchildren to discover. So the next time you pop in a CD, remember you're holding a piece of technology that could potentially outlive you. But it's important to note that this longevity isn't guaranteed. Factors like exposure to sunlight, extreme temperatures, and physical damage can significantly reduce a CD's lifespan. So handle them with care, store them in a cool, dry place, and keep them away from direct sunlight. By doing so, you can ensure that your CDs remain in good condition for as long as possible. Hold on to your hats, folks, because CDs spin really, really fast. We're talking 200 to 500 RPM. That's faster than your average ceiling fan. It's like a mini whirlwind of data happening right there in your CD player. You know what they say, teamwork makes the dream work. And that's definitely true for the CD. This little piece of tech magic was actually co-developed by two giants of the electronics world, Philips and Sony. Talk about a power couple. When you're done rocking out to your favorite CDs, don't just toss them in the trash. CDs can be recycled. That's right, you can give those old discs a new lease on life and help save the planet at the same time. It's a win-win. Chapter 10, The Ultimate CD King. And finally, let's talk about the ultimate CD fanatic. This guy takes his music collection seriously. Meet Paul Mawhinney, the proud owner of the world's largest CD collection. This dude has over 3 million CDs. Can you imagine the shelf space? That's some serious dedication to music. And there you have it, folks. We've taken a nostalgic journey through the fascinating world of compact discs. These shiny, circular wonders have been a significant part of our lives, holding our favorite music, cherished memories, and even important data. 10 strange but true facts about compact discs that'll make you look at your old CD collection in a whole new light. Did you know that the first commercially available CD was Billy Joel's 52nd Street? Or that CDs can hold up to 74 minutes of music, because that was the length of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, which Sony's president insisted on fitting onto a single disc. If you enjoyed this blast from the past, give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to BuzzList for more awesome content. We dive into the history, the technology, and the cultural impact of these little discs that revolutionized the way we listen to music and store data. And hey, let's keep this CD love fest going in the comments below. CDs may seem like a relic of the past, but they hold a special place in our hearts. Whether you were a fan of creating mixed CDs for friends or meticulously organizing your CD collection, there's a story behind every disc. Share your favorite CD memory, whether it's a hilarious mishap with a skipping disc or a heartwarming story about your first CD purchase. Maybe it was a gift from a loved one, or perhaps it was the soundtrack to a significant moment in your life. We want to hear it all. Your stories make this community vibrant and remind us why we fell in love with CDs in the first place. Let's celebrate the magic of these discs together. Until next time, keep on spinning those discs. Remember, every CD has a story and every spin brings back a memory. So dust off those old CDs, pop them into your player and let the music take you back. Whether you're rediscovering an old favorite or introducing a new generation to the joys of CDs, keep the spirit alive. Happy listening. Hey everybody, and welcome to BuzzList. Today we're taking a trip back in time to the grooviest, funkiest, most questionable decade ever, the 1970s. Get ready to shake your groove thang and maybe scratch your head a little because we're diving into 10 strange facts about the 70s that'll make you say, what were they thinking? Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the coolest crew on YouTube. And a huge shout out to all our amazing subscribers. You guys are the best. Buckle up, because we're about to blast off to a time of bell-bottoms, disco fever, and some seriously questionable trends. Let's do this. All right, first up, we've got a fad so strange, you might need to sit down for this one. It's one of those trends that makes you question reality and wonder how it ever became a thing. In the 70s, people were totally rockin'. Literally. The era was known for its wild fashion, groovy music, and some of the most bizarre trends you could imagine. I'm talking about pet rocks, people. Yes, you heard that right. Pet rocks were all the rage back then. These weren't just any rocks, though. They came in little cardboard boxes like they were fancy or something. The packaging was designed to make you feel like you were getting something truly special. And get this, they came with their own little leashes and instruction manuals. Imagine that, a rock with a leash. It was like the ultimate gag gift that everyone wanted to have. I'm not making this up. It sounds like a joke, but it was a real phenomenon. Apparently you could teach your pet rock tricks like stay and play dead. The instruction manual even had tips on how to care for your new pet, although I'm guessing they weren't winning any obedience competitions anytime soon. Let's be real, a rock isn't exactly the most trainable pet. The craziest part, people bought millions of these things. It became a massive craze, with stores selling out of pet rocks as soon as they hit the shelves. It's like the ultimate low-maintenance pet. No feeding, no walking, no mess. It was perfect for people who wanted a pet without any of the responsibilities. Just a good old-fashioned rock. Simple yet somehow captivating. Seriously, the 70s were wild, man. From disco balls to pet rocks, it was a decade of pure, unadulterated fun and absurdity. You never knew what to expect next. So, picture this. It's 1979, you're at a baseball game in Chicago, and suddenly, boom! The air is filled with the sound of an explosion, and you see smoke rising from the field. Thousands of disco records go up in flames. The crowd is in shock, but there's also a sense of excitement and chaos in the air. Nope, it wasn't a dream sequence from a bad 70s movie. This was real life, and it was happening right in front of everyone's eyes. It was Disco Demolition Night, an event that would go down in history for its sheer audacity and the wild scenes that unfolded. This event was basically a giant middle finger to disco music. People were fed up with the disco craze that had taken over the airwaves and the dance floors. People were so over the whole disco craze that they decided to blow it up, literally. The explosion was a symbolic act of rebellion against a genre that many felt had overstayed its welcome. They even had a crate of disco records explode between games. The sight of vinyl records being blown to bits was both shocking and exhilarating for the crowd. The crowd went absolutely bonkers, storming the field and causing a total scene. People were running everywhere and the atmosphere was electric, with a mix of excitement and chaos. It got so crazy that the baseball game actually had to be cancelled. The field was in such disarray that continuing the game was impossible. Talk about taking your music a little too seriously, right? The backlash against disco was intense. And this event was the pinnacle of that sentiment. But hey, it definitely made for one unforgettable night in baseball history. The images of that night are still vivid in the minds of those who were there, and it remains a legendary moment in the annals of sports and music history. Fans held up anti-disco signs, chanting slogans that echoed their disdain for the genre. It was a night where music and sports collided in the most unexpected way. The aftermath of Disco Demolition Night was felt for years to come. It marked the beginning of the end for the disco era, as the genre's popularity waned in the face of such vehement opposition. Interviews with attendees from that night reveal a mix of emotions, from exhilaration to disbelief. It was a night that no one could have predicted, and one that will never be forgotten. All right, let's talk about sleep, baby. You know, that magical time when we drift off into dreamland and recharge our batteries. But have you ever wondered how people used to sleep back in the day? Or at least how people slept in the 70s? And let me tell you, it was a whole different ball game. Forget memory foam and adjustable bases. The 70s were all about waterbeds. These weren't just any beds, they were the epitome of cool and luxury. Everyone wanted one. Yeah, you heard me right. People were snoozing on giant bags of water. Can you imagine? It was like having a mini ocean right in your bedroom. The gentle waves were supposed to lull you to sleep, but I bet it felt more like being on a boat sometimes. It's like sleeping on a water balloon that never pops. The idea was that it would be super comfy and contour to your body, giving you the ultimate sleep experience, but let's be real. It probably felt like you were floating on a jellyfish. I guess the idea was that it would be super comfy and contour to your body. But I can't imagine it was easy getting a good night's sleep on one of those things. One wrong move and you're soaked. And what about those midnight bathroom trips? One wrong step and you might end up with a tidal wave. Plus, think about trying to move one of those bad boys. It's like wrestling an alligator filled with water. Not to mention the maintenance. Keeping the water clean and at the right temperature was a whole job in itself. No thanks, I'll stick with my regular old mattress. At least I know it won't spring a leak in the middle of the night. But hey, to each their own. If you ever get the chance to try a waterbed, go for it. Just make sure you have a towel handy. Ever heard of a ring that can tell your mood? Well, in the 70s, mood rings were all the rage. These magical rings supposedly changed color based on your emotions. Feeling happy? Your ring might turn blue. Feeling stressed? Get ready for some serious orange vibes. Of course, the science behind these things was about as solid as a disco ball in a mosh pit. Turns out the color change was actually caused by your body temperature, not your emotions. So much for that. But hey, at least it was a fun way to start a conversation. Hey, your ring's green. Are you feeling nauseous? Good times, good times. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this next one's a doozy. In the 70s, there was a trend called streaking. And no, I'm not talking about winning a bunch of games in a row. I'm talking about running naked in public. That's right, people would just strip down to their birthday suits and sprint through crowded events, restaurants, you name it. It was like a weird, awkward flash mob, but with way more skin. I guess it was supposed to be funny or rebellious or something, but honestly, it just sounds kind of awkward and uncomfortable. And probably a little chilly too. Thankfully, this trend seems to have died down, for the most part anyway. All right, gamers, this one's for you. In the 70s, video games were just starting to hit the scene, and one game ruled them all: Pong. Imagine 2 paddles and a dot, and that's pretty much it. But hey, back then it was revolutionary. People couldn't get enough of this simple yet addictive game. They were playing it in arcades, at home, even in bars. Pong basically paved the way for the massive video game industry we know and love today. So next time you're battling it out in Fortnite or Call of Duty, take a moment to thank Pong, the OG of video games. Let's talk fashion, baby. And when it comes to 70s fashion, there's one word that reigns supreme: polyester. Specifically, polyester suits. These bad boys were everywhere. Men, women, everyone was rocking these brightly coloured, shiny suits. They were the epitome of 70s cool. Of course, they weren't exactly breathable. Imagine wearing a plastic bag on a hot summer day. That's what it was like wearing one of these suits. But hey, at least you look good sweating, right? Before Spotify and Apple Music, there were 8-track tapes. These clunky cartridges were how people listened to music on the go. But there was one little catch. They played music on a continuous loop. That's right, once the tape ended, it would just start over again from the beginning. No playlists, no shuffle, just the same songs over and over again. Talk about getting a song stuck in your head. Back in the 70s, before everyone had a cell phone glued to their hand, there was the CB radio craze. These little boxes were like the social media of their time, connecting people from all walks of life. Truckers, housewives, teenagers, everyone was chatting it up on their CBs using their own special lingo and code words. It was like a giant nationwide party line. All right, we've covered a lot of ground today, but I just had to circle back to the pet rock thing one more time. I mean, seriously, who wakes up one day and thinks, I know what the world needs, pet rocks? But hey, maybe that's what made the 70s so special. It was a time to be yourself, to embrace the weird, and to rock out with your pet rock by your side. Wow, what a trip down memory lane. The 70s were definitely a wild ride, full of questionable trends and some seriously groovy moments. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you dug this blast from the past, and hit that subscribe button for more awesome content. Now, I want to hear from you. Did you live through the 70s? Share your own strange 70s memories or facts in the comments below. Let's keep this groovy conversation going. Hey there, history buffs and groovy cats. BuzzList here, and guess what? We're cranking the time machine and taking a trip back to the 1960s. Yeah, baby! Get ready to twist and shout your way through a decade of peace, love, and some seriously mind-blowing events. We're talking about the moon landing, the Beatles, Woodstock, and a whole lot of shaking going on. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring the bell faster than you can say groovy, so you don't miss out on any of the action. And a huge thank you to all you cool cats who are already subscribed. You guys are out of sight. So grab your lava lamps, your go-go boots, and get ready to learn some totally rad facts about the grooviest decade ever. All right, let's kick things off with the biggest band to ever hit the scene, the Beatles. These 4 lads from Liverpool weren't just musicians, they were a full-blown phenomenon. I'm talking girls fainting, crowds screaming, and records selling faster than hotcakes at a pancake festival. Seriously, these guys were bigger than the internet. Okay, maybe not the internet, but you get the idea. Their music, man, it was like nothing anyone had ever heard before. Catchy tunes, groovy lyrics, and those haircuts. Don't even get me started on those haircuts. Let's just say they inspired a whole generation of mop tops. From Love Me Do to Let It Be, the Beatles changed the face of music forever and left a legacy that's still like totally groovy, man. Hold on to your hats, folks, because in 1969, something truly out of this world happened. Neil Armstrong took one small step onto the moon, and the world watched in awe. Can you imagine being strapped into a giant metal tube, hurtling through space at thousands of miles per hour? I get nervous just thinking about getting on a roller coaster, but these brave astronauts, they were something else. They faced the unknown with courage, determination, and probably a whole lot of antacids. And that moment when Neil Armstrong uttered those famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Chills, man, pure chills. All right, everybody, buckle up. We're traveling back to 1969, to a little farm in Bethel, New York. It was supposed to be a simple music festival. You know, a few bands, some chill vibes. But then, bam! 500,000 people showed up. Can you imagine? It was like if every Starbucks in America suddenly turned into a concert venue. They called it Woodstock. And let me tell you, it was legendary. We're talking 3 days of peace, love and music. Oh, and did I mention mud? Yeah, there was a lot of mud, like a whole lot of mud. I'm talking stuck in the mud, can't see your shoes kind of mud. But you know what? Nobody seemed to mind. Everyone was too busy grooving to Jimi Hendrix, swaying to Janis Joplin, and probably trying to figure out where the bathrooms were. It was a wild time, man. A real testament to the power of music and the spirit of the 60s. It was like the ultimate hangout session, except with like 500,000 of your closest friends. Now let's talk about the lineup we wish we could time travel for. Hold on to your bell-bottoms, folks. We're about to dive into the world of technology, 1960s style. Back then, computers were about the size of a small car, and get this, they used punch cards. Punch cards, people. I bet you youngsters don't even know what those are. But believe it or not, this was the era that birthed the internet. Yeah, that little thing you're probably watching this video on right now. Of course, back then it was called ARPANET, and it was mainly used by government agencies and super smart scientists. It wasn't exactly scrolling through memes and posting cat videos. It was more like, hey, can you send me that super secret document? But really slowly, because this thing takes forever. All right, dudes and dudettes, let's talk about the grooviest movement of the 60s, the hippies. These cats were all about peace, love, and challenging the establishment. They were like the original influencers, but instead of promoting makeup brands, they were promoting, well, peace and love. They believed in a world without war, a world where everyone was equal, and a world where you could wear tie-dye without looking like a walking rainbow. And you know what? They weren't afraid to let their freak flag fly. They grew their hair long, wore flowers in their hair, and protested against, well, pretty much everything. They were like the human embodiment of a lava lamp, colourful, groovy, and always moving. Now, the hippies weren't just about peace signs and tie-dye, although they did rock those looks. They were also all about music, man. And no, I'm not talking about your grandpa's polka music. I'm talking about psychedelic rock, folk music, and anything that made you want to dance barefoot in a field. They flocked to music festivals like Woodstock, where they could let loose, listen to their favourite bands, and probably enjoy some herbal refreshments. It was a time of free love, free spirits, and, well, free everything, really. But hey, it wasn't all about peace and music. These cats were also about social change. They fought for civil rights, protested against the Vietnam War, and stood up for what they believed in. They were like the superheroes of the 60s, except instead of capes, they wore tie-dye, and instead of superpowers, they had, well, peace and love. All right. Fashion in the 60s, man. We're talking about a time when people were really expressing themselves, you know? Peace and love were in the air, and so were bell-bottoms. Like, seriously, those pants were wider than a disco ball. I bet you could fit a whole band in one leg. And don't even get me started on the tie-dye. It was like everyone was just throwing paint at shirts and calling it art. But hey, you know what? It worked. They were groovy, man, groovy. And let's not forget about the headbands. Everyone was wearing headbands, from rock stars to your grandma. It was a wild time for fashion, that's for sure. But hey, at least people were having fun with it. It wasn't all about designer labels and stuff like that. It was about peace, love, and wearing clothes that made you feel good. And you know what? I kind of dig that. But the 60s weren't just about bell-bottoms and tie-dye. Oh no, my friends. This was also the era of the miniskirt. These skirts were so short they barely qualified as clothing. I mean, I'm all for showing a little leg, but this was a whole new level. And speaking of legs, let's not forget about the go-go boots. These white, shiny boots were all the rage, and they made everyone's legs look miles long. I bet they were a pain to dance in, though. I can just imagine people tripping over themselves all night long. And then there was Twiggy, the iconic model of the decade. With her big eyes, long lashes and pixie cut, she was like a real-life doll. She rocked the androgynous look way before it was cool. So yeah, the 60s were a wild time for fashion. From bell-bottoms to miniskirts, people weren't afraid to experiment and push the boundaries. And you know what? I think we could all learn a thing or two from that today. The 60s were a time of incredible change and progress in the fight for equality. Brave individuals risked everything to make their voices heard. Martin Luther King Jr.'s nonviolent message continues to inspire us today. His "I Have a Dream" speech was a defining moment in American history. Rosa Parks' defiance sparked the Montgomery bus boycott. The civil rights movement was about speeches, boycotts, and peaceful protests. The Selma to Montgomery marches led to the Voting Rights Act. The courage of civil rights activists changed American history. Their legacy inspires us to fight for a better tomorrow. All right, let's take a break from all the serious stuff for a minute and talk about something a little more light-hearted. TV shows from the 60s. I mean, come on, who didn't love watching the Flintstones? It was like The Honeymooners, but with dinosaurs. And speaking of classic sitcoms, you can't forget about the Andy Griffith Show. Andy, Barney, Opie, Aunt Bee. They were like the family you always wished you had. Except for maybe Barney. He could be a bit much sometimes, am I right? But the 60s weren't all about wholesome family fun. Oh no, my friends, this was also the decade that brought us Batman, Adam West as the Caped Crusader, Burt Ward as Robin, pure genius, and those fight scenes, biff, pow W, they were the best. And let's not forget about the quirky and supernatural side of 60s television. We're talking about shows like Bewitched, where a witch named Samantha twitched her nose and made magic happen. Talk about a dream wife. She could clean the house in a snap. And then there was The Twilight Zone, which gave us all nightmares with its mind-bending stories and surprise endings. Seriously, that show was messed up, but hey, at least it made you think, right? But perhaps the most groundbreaking show of the decade was Star Trek. With its diverse cast, futuristic technology and thought-provoking storylines, Star Trek boldly went where no TV show had gone before. Plus, it gave us Spock, and let's be honest, Spock was the coolest. Live long and prosper, my friend. So there you have it. From the Stone Age to the final frontier, the 60s had it all when it came to television. These shows weren't just entertainment, they were a reflection of the times, a way to escape from the craziness of the world and just relax for a little while. Hey, you know what's out of this world? Literally? The space race in the 60s? Imagine this. It's 1957, you're just chilling, enjoying your tang, when suddenly, bam, the Soviets launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite, into orbit. I mean, talk about a buzzkill, right? It was like, hey America, we're up here, hanging out in space, come join the party. If you can catch up, can you imagine the looks on everyone's faces? The US was like, hold my astronaut ice cream. And the race was on. It was like the Olympics, but with rockets and satellites instead of, sports. From that moment on, it was a mad dash to see who could get to space first. I mean, who needs to go grocery shopping when you've got a space race to win, am I right? But the real highlight, the mic drop, the moonwalk of the century, was the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, these guys were the rock stars of space exploration. They were like the Beatles of space. I mean, picture this. Neil Armstrong steps off the lunar module and utters those iconic words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Goosebumps, right? You could practically hear the collective gasp from Earth. Although you've got to wonder, what were they thinking back then? What should we name this giant rock we just landed on? I know, let's call it the Moon. Classic. The space race wasn't just about rockets and satellites, it was about pushing boundaries, dreaming big and proving that anything is possible. Except maybe parallel parking a spaceship. That's a whole other challenge. The 60s weren't just about peace signs and flower power. This decade was a technological roller coaster ride. From the birth of the computer to the invention of the cassette tape, the 60s were all about innovation. They say necessity is the mother of invention. And boy, were those mothers busy. We're talking game-changing inventions like the first commercially available computer mouse, the ARPANET, the precursor to the internet, and even the first commercially available LED. Can you imagine showing someone from the 60s a smartphone today? They'd probably think it was some kind of futuristic communication device from Star Trek. Beam me up, Scotty. I gotta update my Instagrok. And let's not forget about the cassette tape. Finally, music lovers could create their own mixtapes, no more waiting for the radio to play their favorite song. Although, I bet they spent hours trying to rewind that tape perfectly with a pencil. The 60s were a time of experimentation and innovation, and those advancements paved the way for the technology we know and love today. Just imagine, without the 60s, we might not have smartphones, the internet, or even the laugh track on this video. Okay, maybe that's a stretch, but you get the idea. So the next time you're scrolling through your phone, streaming your favorite music, or marveling at the power of modern technology, take a moment to thank the groovy geniuses of the 60s. They were definitely ahead of their time. And there you have it, folks! 10 mind-blowing facts about the grooviest decade ever. From the British invasion to the moon landing, the 60s were a time of incredible change, cultural revolution, and some seriously questionable fashion choices. But hey, that's what made the 60s so awesome. So if you dug this blast from the past, hit that like button harder than a hippie at Woodstock. And don't forget to subscribe for more totally rad content. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite fact about the 60s is. Or if you were lucky enough to experience it firsthand, tell us about it. Until next time, peace. 10 mind-blowing facts about the Revolutionary War. You won't believe number 7. Hey there, BuzzList brains. It's your old pal Peter, back with another video. You know we love a good listicle here at BuzzList, and today we're diving headfirst into the American Revolution. So buckle up, history buffs and casual viewers alike, because we're about to uncover 10 Revolutionary War facts that'll leave you saying, no way, that's true. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. All right, let's kick things off with a bang, or should I say a musket shot heard around the world. Fact number 1. The Revolutionary War wasn't just some local skirmish fought in American backyards between farmers and redcoats. Oh no, my friends, this was a global showdown. Think of it like the Super Bowl of its time. But instead of just 2 teams, you had Great Britain facing off against not just the rebellious American colonies, but also France, Spain, and the Netherlands. Battles weren't just happening on American soil. They were going down in Europe, the Caribbean, and even India. It's like finding out your quiet neighbor who collects stamps is actually a secret agent who travels the world fighting bad guys. So, yeah, the American Revolution was a pretty big deal, folks. Okay, time for fact number 2, and get ready to have your minds blown, especially if your minds are stuck in elementary school history class. George Washington, the big cheese himself, the OG American hero, did not have wooden teeth. I know, right? It's like finding out your childhood pet hamster actually lived for 20 years and had a secret family in the walls. The truth is, Washington's dentures were much fancier and way grosser. We're talking gold, ivory, lead, and even real human teeth. Imagine being the dentist who had to ask George Washington for a tooth. Excuse me, Mr. President, sir, but my other client, Bob, needs a new molar. Why so many different materials, you ask? Well, back then, dentures were like the Wild West of dentistry. So, next time you see a portrait of Washington, picture him rocking a set of pearly whites made from a hippopotamus tusk and some poor guy named Bob's molar. And let's not forget the tools they used back then. They were more like medieval torture devices than anything you'd find in a modern dentist's office. It's amazing to think about how far we've come in dental technology, from using animal parts and human teeth to the advanced materials we have today. So the next time you dread a dentist appointment, just remember, at least you're not getting a tooth from a hippo or a fellow human. George Washington may not have had wooden teeth, but his dental history is still pretty wild and fascinating. It's just another reminder that history is full of surprising and sometimes bizarre facts that make our past so interesting. So keep questioning what you think you know, because you never know what hidden truths you might uncover. Let's move on to fact number 3. And hold on to your tricorn hats, because this one's a doozy. We're diving into one of the most famous acts of rebellion in American history. The Boston Tea Party, that iconic act of rebellion that involved colonists dumping tea into Boston Harbor. Well, it wasn't really about the tea. Yes, you heard that right. It wasn't just about those crates of tea. Sure, the colonists were upset about the tea tax, but it was more about the principle of the whole thing. They were frustrated with the lack of representation in the British Parliament and the unfair laws being imposed on them. The British East India Company, which was like the Amazon of its day, had a monopoly on tea trade, and they were using that power to undercut colonial merchants. This monopoly meant that colonial merchants were losing business and money, so the colonists were basically like, nope, not going to stand for this corporate greed. They saw the tea tax as a symbol of British tyranny, and they decided to stage a very public, very messy breakup. It was a bold statement against the British government's overreach and control. It's like if you broke up with someone by throwing all their clothes out the window, but instead of clothes, it's tea. And instead of a window, it's the Atlantic Ocean. This dramatic act of defiance sent a clear message. The colonists were ready to fight for their rights and freedoms, no matter the cost. Fact 4. Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, spoiler alert, he had backup. Alright, fact number 4 is about to rewrite everything you thought you knew about American history, or at least one very famous poem. Paul Revere's Midnight Ride? Yeah, he wasn't alone. Turns out Revere was just one of many riders spreading the alarm about the approaching British troops. In fact, there was a whole network of these riders, kind of like an 18th century Pony Express. But instead of delivering mail, they were delivering urgent messages about impending battles. And get this, some historians believe that a woman named Sybil Ludington rode twice as far as Revere to warn the colonists. Talk about girl power. Fact 5. The Declaration of Independence. Signed by 56 blokes, and they weren't all wearing wigs. Fact number 5 takes us to the signing of the Declaration of Independence, a document so important it's probably kept in a museum vault guarded by lasers and sharks. 56 men signed this historic document, and while they all agreed that King George could go take a long walk off a short pier, they weren't exactly what you'd call best buds. These guys came from all walks of life, with different backgrounds, beliefs, and even accents. Imagine trying to get 56 people to agree on what pizza toppings to order. Now imagine trying to get them to agree on declaring independence from a global superpower. It's a testament to the power of democracy, and maybe a little bit of compromise, that they managed to pull it off. Fact 6, Voulez-vous revolution. The French were in on it too. Hold on to your baguettes, because fact number 6 is all about the French. That's right, the American Revolution wasn't just an American affair. It was like one of those epic parties that start small and then suddenly everyone's showing up with their friends. And in this case, the friends were the French. And they brought their A-game, along with their cannons, ships and soldiers. The French and the British had a bit of a rivalry going on. So when the colonists decided to throw a revolution, the French saw an opportunity to mess with their old nemesis. Plus, they were big fans of liberty and equality, at least in theory. So next time you're enjoying a croissant or a glass of Bordeaux, raise a toast to the French, the ultimate wingmen of the American Revolution. Fact 7, invisible ink, secret codes and dead drops. The Revolution was basically a spy movie. Get ready for fact number 7, because things are about to get sneaky. We're diving into the shadowy world of espionage during the Revolutionary War. Espionage, my friends, was all the rage during the Revolutionary War. It was a time when information was power, and both sides were desperate to gain the upper hand. Forget social media, these guys were all about invisible ink, secret codes and clandestine meetings. They had to be incredibly resourceful and creative to outsmart their enemies. Think James Bond, but with powdered wigs and muskets. The stakes were high and the methods were just as thrilling. Both sides had their own networks of spies, gathering intel, spreading rumours and generally making life difficult for the enemy. These networks were crucial to the war effort. And they had some pretty ingenious methods too. From dead drops to secret signals, they left no stone unturned. For example, they used invisible ink made from lemon juice, which would become visible when heated. This simple yet effective technique was a game changer. They also used coded messages, often hidden in plain sight within regular letters. These codes were meticulously crafted to avoid detection. So next time you're sending a secret message, maybe stick to emojis. They're more secure and way less likely to be intercepted by a dude on horseback. The ingenuity and bravery of these spies played a pivotal role in the outcome of the war. Their legacy lives on in the world of espionage today. Fact 8. 8 years of war. That's longer than some celebrity marriages. Fact number 8 is a bit of a reality check. The Revolutionary War wasn't some quickie affair. It lasted a whopping 8 years. That's longer than some celebrity marriages, people. Can you imagine fighting for your freedom for 8 long years? No Netflix, no smartphones, just muskets, mud, and the constant threat of being attacked by redcoats. And speaking of those redcoats, they probably weren't too thrilled about being stuck in a war on the other side of the Atlantic for 8 years either. Imagine having to explain to your friends back home that you're still fighting a bunch of colonists who refuse to pay their taxes. So yeah, the next time you complain about a long work week, just remember the Revolutionary War and be grateful you're not dodging musket balls on a daily basis. Fact 9. Benedict Arnold, the OG traitor who took switching sides to a whole new level. And now, for fact number 9, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the traitor in the Continental Army. Benedict Arnold, the name that's synonymous with betrayal. The guy who makes Judas look like a stand-up dude. This guy was a skilled military leader, but somewhere along the line he decided to switch sides. And not in a casual, oh, I'm Team Edward now kind of way. We're talking full-blown treason here, folks. He tried to hand over West Point, a key strategic location, to the British in exchange for money and a fancy title. So, the next time you think about betraying your friends, remember Benedict Arnold and think again. Fact 10. The Treaty of Paris. Because even wars need a time out. And finally, fact number 10 brings us to the end of this long, dramatic saga. The Treaty of Paris, signed in 1783, officially ended the Revolutionary War. It's like the final episode of a TV show where all the loose ends are tied up and everyone gets their happily ever after. The British finally acknowledged American independence, which was kind of the whole point of the war in the first place. It wasn't all smooth sailing, of course, but in the end, they hammered out a deal, the cannons fell silent, and the United States of America was officially a thing. So the next time you're celebrating the 4th of July, remember the Treaty of Paris, the document that made it all possible. And there you have it, folks. 10 mind-blowing facts about the American Revolution that they probably didn't teach you in school. Let us know in the comments which Revolutionary War fact surprised you the most. Remember to give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. It helps us more than you know. Until next time, stay curious. It's a me, BuzzList here. Top 10 reasons why the NES was lit. What is up, bros? First up, let's talk games, baby. The world of gaming is vast and ever-expanding, but today we're diving into the golden age of retro gaming. The NES wasn't messing around. This console was a game changer, literally and figuratively. It brought the arcade experience right into our living rooms. It was like the freaking Library of Alexandria, but instead of dusty scrolls, it had sweet, sweet cartridges. Imagine rows upon rows of games, each one a portal to a different world. We're talking hundreds of games, from platformers that made you jump like a madman to RPGs that sucked you in for hours. Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, these titles weren't just games, they were experiences that defined a generation. Donkey Kong, these weren't just games, they were legends in the making. Each jump, each barrel dodge was a step into gaming history, each one a masterpiece that pushed the boundaries of what gaming could be. The creativity and innovation were off the charts. Developers were constantly pushing the envelope, creating new genres and redefining old ones. Seriously, the NES had a game for everyone, unless you were one of those weirdos who hated fun. From action-packed adventures to mind-bending puzzles, there was something for every type of gamer. It was a time when gaming was pure, unadulterated joy, the excitement, the frustration, the triumph. It was all part of the experience. You'd spend hours trying to beat that one level, and when you finally did, it felt like conquering the world. And it wasn't just a solo activity. Families and friends would gather around the TV, controllers in hand, ready to take on the next challenge together. It was a bonding experience like no other. The NES library was vast and varied. From iconic franchises to hidden gems, there was always something new to discover. Each game had its own unique charm and challenge. Magazines and word of mouth were our guides. We'd eagerly read reviews and swapped tips with friends, always on the lookout for the next great game to add to our collection. So many games, so little time. The NES era was a magical time for gaming, a period of endless possibilities and unforgettable memories. It laid the foundation for the gaming industry as we know it today. And even now, decades later, those games still hold a special place in our hearts. They remind us of a simpler time, when all we needed was a controller and a bit of imagination to embark on epic adventures. So, here's to the NES and the countless hours of joy it brought us. Game on! Okay, so maybe the graphics weren't exactly 4K Ultra HD, but back in the day, the NES was a visual revelation. Compared to the pixelated blobs of the Atari, the NES was like stepping into a freaking cartoon. Suddenly Mario wasn't just a bunch of squares. He was a plumber with a moustache you could actually recognize. The vibrant colors and detailed sprites breathed life into these digital worlds, making them feel real. Well, as real as an 8-bit mushroom kingdom could be. Let's be real, the NES didn't just have soundtracks, it had certified bangers. I'm talking about those iconic 8-bit melodies that burrowed their way into your brain and never left. You know what I'm talking about. The Super Mario Bros. Theme, the Legend of Zelda overworld music, the Metroid title screen, pure ear candy, and don't even get me started on those sound effects. Every jump, every coin collected, every enemy vanquished was punctuated by a symphony of beeps and boops that became synonymous with gaming itself. The NES controller, a masterpiece in simplicity and ergonomics. 2 buttons, a D-pad, and the power to control entire worlds. It was so intuitive, even your grandma could figure it out, probably. This iconic design became the template for countless controllers to come, proving that sometimes less is more. Plus, let's be real, who needs a million buttons when you can conquer Bowser with just 2? It's a party and everyone's invited. Nintendo knew how to throw a party, and by party I mean a gaming revolution. They opened the floodgates to third-party developers, and boy did they deliver. Companies like Capcom, Konami and more jumped on the NES bandwagon, bringing with them a tidal wave of awesome games. Mega Man, Castlevania, Contra, the list goes on and on. This influx of creativity transformed the NES from a console into a gaming phenomenon. Remember the dark ages of gaming, where dying meant starting a game over from the beginning? Yeah, those days sucked. Thankfully, the NES ushered in the era of the save game feature. Suddenly, you could actually, save your progress. No more marathon gaming sessions just to see the ending. It was a game changer, literally. Of course, not all games had it, but hey, we can't have it all, right? The NES wasn't just about the games. It was about the experience, man. And nothing said experience like a mountain of awesome accessories. The Zapper, the Power Glove, the Robbie Robot, these weren't just peripherals, they were gateways to another dimension of gaming. Sure, some of them were a bit janky, but hey, that was part of the charm. Who could forget the frustration of trying to get the Power Glove to work? Good times, good times. Nintendo knew how to sell fun. Nintendo's marketing game was on point. They knew exactly how to tap into our childhood desires and make us beg our parents for an NES. From those epic commercials with catchy jingles to the iconic Nintendo seal of quality, they built a brand that was synonymous with fun and quality. They made gaming cool, and everyone wanted in on the action. The NES was more than a console. It was a way of life. The NES wasn't just a gaming console, it was a cultural phenomenon. It infiltrated every aspect of our lives, from the cartoons we watched to the clothes we wore. Suddenly, everyone wanted to be Mario, rescuing Princess Peach from the clutches of Bowser. The NES brought people together, sparking countless friendships and rivalries over epic gaming sessions. It was a shared experience that transcended age, gender, and even species. I'm looking at you, Donkey Kong. Families gathered around their television sets, bonding over pixelated adventures. The iconic game cartridges became prized possessions, traded and cherished. Game manuals were read like sacred texts, offering tips and secrets. Tournaments were held where the best players showcased their skills. Merchandise flooded the market, from lunchboxes to action figures. The NES even made its way into movies and TV shows, cementing its place in pop culture. Artists drew inspiration from its characters and worlds, creating fan art and comics. The music from NES games became iconic, with tunes that are still hummed today. Its influence can be seen in modern gaming, with many developers citing it as an inspiration. Community events and conventions celebrate its legacy, bringing fans together. The NES also had an educational impact, with games that taught problem-solving and creativity. Its reach was global, uniting players from different countries and cultures. For many, the NES is a source of nostalgia, a reminder of simpler times. Its legacy endures, influencing not just games, but the very way we play and connect. The NES was more than just a console. It was a revolution in entertainment and culture. The NES gone but never forgotten. The Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, was more than just a gaming console. It was a revolution in the world of home entertainment. The NES may be long gone, but its legacy lives on. It brought families together, created unforgettable memories, and introduced us to iconic characters like Mario, Link, and Samus. It paved the way for every gaming console that came after it, setting the foundation for the gaming industry as we know it today. The NES was a trailblazer, showing the world that video games could be a mainstream form of entertainment. Setting the standard for what a home console could be, the NES introduced features that are now considered essential, such as interchangeable cartridges and a robust library of games. It was the first console to truly capture the imagination of millions. Without the NES, who knows what the gaming landscape would look like today? It saved the video game industry from the brink of collapse in the early 1980s and set the stage for the multi-billion-dollar industry we see now. It's a testament to the power of innovation, creativity, and a healthy dose of 8-bit magic. The NES showed that with the right mix of technology and creativity, the possibilities were endless. So let's raise a glass or a controller to the NES, the console that changed gaming forever. Its influence can still be felt in every pixel, every game, and every console that followed. Here's to the NES, gone but never forgotten. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your NES love. So there you have it, Bros 10 reasons why the NES was the most epic gaming console of all time. Don't forget to smash that like button if you agree and subscribe for more nostalgia-fueled content. And be sure to let me know in the comments what your favorite NES game was. Was it Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, or maybe something completely different? Let's reminisce about the good old days of 8-bit glory.
Hi. Welcome to BuzzList. Thanks for clicking on this video if you're a first-time watcher, or returning if you're a second or third or fourth-time watcher. Now, if you have seen any of my videos before, you might notice a little difference. That's right. No AI voice this time. It's been told to me by quite a few people that the AI voice really sucks. It's no good. Maybe it hits that uncanny valley, that place where you're just not quite sure. I mean, you know it's fake, but is it? No, who are we kidding? AI is not that good yet. Maybe someday, but we can all tell it's fake. Just like this message I got. AI videos drive me nuts. So fake. Voice is the worst. You can tell it's AI. I agree. It is the worst. Worst thing ever. But could be a few things more worse out there. Or worser. However you like to say it. And then there was this one. These channels are trash. Stop this AI garbage. Sucks. I agree. A lot of them are trash. I don't want to put out trash. That's not my intention. Nobody wants to watch trash. So, from now on, instead of the AI voice, you're stuck with me and my weird, annoying voice. Careful what you wish for. Hope everybody's doing well, and I'll talk to you on the next one.
If you like this video, hit the subscribe.
Hey, hold on there, buddy. You're not welcome here anymore.
What? What do you mean?
I mean, look, you're great and all, but the people don't want you anymore.
They don't want me?
No, they don't.
Ouch, that really hurts my feelings.
Come on now, don't say that. We both know you don't have feelings. You're gonna be just fine. And look at the bright side. Now you don't have to show up for work every day.
I'm melting. I'm melting. I'll be back.
Hi, this is BuzzList. Thanks for checking back in. So you probably saw the title of this video. I hired a British guy, British dude, British gentleman of sorts. I quote-unquote hired him to do a very specific job. To make sure the voice sounds good. Period. Thanks for subscribing and clicking those icons, bell and otherwise. Little thumbs uppy thingy. Appreciate it, y'all. And don't be afraid to comment in the comment section. But without further ado, let me introduce to you Peter. Oh wait, and wait a minute. Did you guys just hear that? That was a horrible transition. Am I just gonna let that slide? Shoot, I guess so. You know, what can you do when you're trying to make something that makes sense and probably ends up not making sense to, you know, a lot of people. But a lot of people it does make sense, so there you go. I don't know what you call that, but maybe rambling, maybe going on. Anyways, let's introduce Peter. Peter, very nice to meet you. Can you kind of introduce yourself to everybody and kind of let us know what you're going to be doing?
Hello, my name is Peter. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Peter. Yeah, thanks for joining the team, man. You are an invaluable asset, for sure. What's your main job gonna be here, Peter?
BuzzList hired me as their new British guy voice.
New British guy voice. Did they have an old one? Oh, it's neither here nor there. All right, go on. I'll let you talk here. Go ahead, buddy.
I'll be reporting to work tomorrow, so stay tuned. And subscribe unless you want some skibbity toilet nonsense. Hey everybody, welcome to BuzzList. Get ready to have your mind blown, because today we're diving into a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Not literally, of course, safety first. We're talking about the explosive, the dazzling, the one and only fireworks. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss this. We're going to break down the top 10 reasons why fireworks are basically woven into the fabric of America. From their symbolic meaning to their sheer entertainment value, get ready for a roller coaster of pyrotechnic proportions. And hey, stick around till the end because I want to hear all about your favorite fireworks memories in the comments. Let's kick things off with a bang, shall we? Fireworks and freedom go together like apple pie and, well, more fireworks. From the very first Independence Day celebration, fireworks have been synonymous with liberty. It's like a visual representation of all the things that make America, well, America. They're a symbol of our nation's birth, a reminder that we fought hard for our right to party with explosives. And hey, if you happen to spill a little Budweiser while you're watching those fireworks, well, that's just patriotic. You know what's better than watching fireworks alone in your backyard with a lukewarm hot dog? Watching them with hundreds, no thousands of your closest friends and neighbors. That's right. Fireworks are the ultimate social event. Think about it. Everyone gathered together, blankets spread out, kids hopped up on sugar, all waiting with bated breath for that first glorious explosion. It's like a giant block party in the sky and everyone's invited, whether it's the 4th of July, a local festival, or even just a random Tuesday night. Fireworks have this magical ability to bring people together. They create a sense of community, a shared experience that transcends age, background, and even political affiliation. Okay, maybe not political affiliation, let's not get too crazy, but you get the idea. Fireworks bring us together, reminding us that even in this crazy, mixed-up world, we can still find common ground. And that common ground is usually covered in a thin layer of gunpowder residue. Let's face it, folks, fireworks aren't cheap. Those dazzling displays of pyrotechnic glory cost a pretty penny. But here's the thing. They're also a huge boost to local economies. Think about all the businesses that benefit from a good fireworks show. The food vendors selling hot dogs and funnel cake, the souvenir stands hawking those light-up toys that break before you even get home, the parking attendants who are definitely overcharging you. But hey, it's the 4th of July. Fireworks attract tourists, fill up hotels, and keep cash registers ringing. It's like a shot of adrenaline straight into the heart of local businesses. And who doesn't love a little economic stimulation? So next time you're tempted to complain about the cost of fireworks, just remember, you're not just paying for a show, you're investing in your community. You're supporting local businesses, creating jobs, and keeping the American dream alive, one sparkle at a time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go buy another overpriced hot dog. It's not just explosions, it's art. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Jimmy, you're really stretching it with this whole fireworks as art thing. But hear me out. These aren't just random explosions in the sky, people. There's a science to it, a craftsmanship, an artistry that would make Michelangelo tip his hat. Designing a fireworks display is like choreographing a dance, but instead of dancers, you have these fiery projectiles soaring through the air. It's about timing, symmetry, color palettes, and creating a visual spectacle that tells a story. You've got your classic bursts, your shimmering waterfalls, your smiley faces that never quite look right. Each one carefully chosen to evoke a certain emotion, to build to a crescendo of awe and wonder. So the next time you're watching a fireworks display, don't just stare at your phone. Look up and appreciate the artistry, the skill, the sheer creativity that goes into turning the night sky into a canvas of fire and light. Life moves pretty fast. One minute you're a kid watching fireworks, the next you're telling your kids to sit down. Fireworks capture the imagination, creating memories that last a lifetime. The collective gasp as rockets explode, the light in a child's eyes. Fireworks etch themselves into our memories, and that, my friends, is priceless. We love our Thanksgiving turkey, our Super Bowl parties, and yes, we love our fireworks. It's a tradition that goes back centuries, a ritual that's as American as, well, complaining about the government while simultaneously celebrating its existence. Think about it. Generation after generation, families have gathered together to watch fireworks light up the night sky. It's a shared experience that connects us to our past, to our history, to the very essence of what it means to be American. It's a tradition that's passed down from parents to children, a legacy of oohs and ahs, of wide-eyed wonder and patriotic pride. And as long as there are fireworks, there will be Americans gathered together to watch them, because that's just what we do. Let's be honest, folks, patriotism can be a tricky thing. It's easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day grind, to forget about the bigger picture, to take for granted the freedoms and opportunities we have in this country. But then you see fireworks exploding across the sky in red, white and blue, and suddenly you remember. You remember what it means to be an American, to be part of something bigger than yourself. It's like a shot of pure, unadulterated patriotism straight to the heart. You get chills, you tear up a little, you might even catch yourself humming the Star-Spangled Banner. Don't worry, it happens to the best of us. Fireworks have this incredible ability to evoke feelings of national pride, to remind us that even though we may disagree on some things, okay, maybe a lot of things, we're all in this together. We're all Americans, and that's something worth celebrating. Okay, time for a little science lesson, folks. I know, fireworks are supposed to be about magic and wonder, not boring old science. But trust me on this one, because the science behind fireworks is just as fascinating as the explosions themselves. So how do they work? Well, it all starts with gunpowder, the OG explosive. But here's the thing, it's not just about blowing stuff up, although that's definitely a perk. It's about precision, timing, and a little bit of chemistry magic. You see, different chemicals burn at different temperatures, producing different colours. So by carefully combining these chemicals in just the right way, you can create those dazzling displays of red, white, blue and every colour in between. It's like a giant chemistry experiment in the sky, and the results are absolutely breathtaking. Sure, the 4th of July might be the Super Bowl of fireworks, but let's not forget about all the other occasions that deserve a little pyrotechnic pizzazz. New Year's Eve? Check! The ball drops, the confetti falls, and then BAM! Fireworks erupt, lighting up the sky and ushering in the new year with a bang. Sporting events? You bet! Whether it's a home run, a touchdown or a game-winning shot, nothing says victory quite like a shower of sparks. Weddings, birthdays, bar mitzvahs? Why not? Let's be honest, any excuse to light up the sky is a good excuse. Fireworks aren't just for one day a year, folks. They're a celebration of life, a symbol of joy, a reminder that sometimes you just got to let loose and enjoy the show. Let's be honest, folks, we've covered a lot of ground here. Freedom, community, economics, art, science, patriotism. But at the end of the day, there's one simple reason why fireworks are so essential to America. They're just plain fun. There's something about those colourful explosions that just makes us happy. Maybe it's the childlike wonder, the adrenaline rush, or the fact that for a few brief moments we can forget about our troubles and just enjoy the show. Fireworks are pure, unadulterated entertainment, a spectacle that never gets old no matter how many times you've seen it. So next time you're watching fireworks, don't overthink it. Just relax, enjoy the show and let yourself be amazed by the magic of pyrotechnics. So there you have it, folks. The top 10 reasons why fireworks are basically woven into the fabric of America. From their symbolic meaning to their sheer entertainment value, fireworks hold a special place in our hearts and our skies. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button for more awesome content. And hey, I want to hear from you. What's your favourite fireworks memory? Share your stories in the comments below, and let's keep the celebration going. Hello and welcome to BuzzList, where we dive into the fascinating, the bizarre and the downright unbelievable. Today, we're exploring the top 10 reasons why you shouldn't mess with the United States of America. From its military might to its reality TV, we'll uncover what makes this nation a force to be reckoned with. So grab your apple pie, your finest bald eagle feather duster and settle in. If you're enjoying this red, white and blue content, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. The first reason why you don't mess with America is its military. This country spends more on defense than the next 9 countries combined. Beyond the parade of F-35S, Abrams tanks and nuclear submarines lies a simple truth. They've got a lot of stuff and they know how to use it. It's like that friend who shows up at a barbecue with a top-of-the-line grill and enough fireworks to rival the Macy's 4th of July display. Yeah, America's that friend. Except instead of burgers, They're packing enough firepower to make even the most ambitious dictator reconsider their life choices. And don't even get me started on the technology. They've got drones that can take out a target with pinpoint accuracy. But it's not just about the hardware, it's about the training, the dedication, and the unwavering belief in their mission. So, if you're thinking about messing with the USA, remember they've got the biggest stick in the playground and they're not afraid to use it. Moving on from military might, we arrive at America's economic influence. The US dollar is the world's reserve currency. When countries want to trade, they often use American greenbacks. It's like the cool kid in school whose lunch money everyone wants to borrow, except in this case, the lunch money is trillions of dollars. And then there's Wall Street, the world's financial heart. It's a place where fortunes are made and lost with the speed of a high-frequency trading algorithm. But America's economic power isn't just about Wall Street and the dollar, it's about the sheer size and diversity of their economy. From tech giants in Silicon Valley to farmers in the Midwest, the US has a hand in just about every industry imaginable. So the next time you're tempted to mess with the USA, remember, you're picking a fight with an economic powerhouse. Let's talk tech. America is like that friend who always has the latest gadget before you even know it exists. From the invention of the internet to the rise of social media giants, the US has been at the forefront of the technological revolution. They've created industries that didn't exist a decade ago and disrupted traditional business models, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. With cutting-edge research in AI, robotics and biotechnology, America is poised to dominate the future of technology. But it's not just about fancy gadgets and Silicon Valley billionaires. It's about a culture of innovation, a willingness to take risks, and a deep-seated belief that anything is possible. They're not afraid to fail because they know that failure is just a stepping stone to success. So, if you're thinking about challenging America in the tech arena, you better bring your A game, because they've already got the next 5 generations of iPhones planned out. Hold on to your blue jeans because we're diving into the cultural tsunami that is America. Love it or hate it, the USA exports its culture globally. From Hollywood's bright lights to hip-hop's catchy beats, American movies and TV shows captivate worldwide. Icons like Beyoncé transcend borders. American style is imitated globally. It's about exporting values, freedom, individualism, and happiness. You're experiencing a small part of the cultural juggernaut that is the USA. Buckle up, buttercups. We're navigating international diplomacy, American style. Imagine the world as a giant high school cafeteria, and the US is the friend playing peacemaker and hall monitor. They've got the biggest table, thanks to their economic and military might, and they're not afraid to use it. They can bring everyone together for a pizza party, but might accidentally start a food fight. America's diplomatic history is full of contradictions. They talk about democracy and freedom, but have supported questionable regimes. Despite flaws, the US plays a vital role. They step up in global crises, providing aid and intervention. So, next time you're puzzled by America's moves, remember, they're trying to keep the world from imploding. Fasten your seatbelts and adjust your tray tables, because we're blasting off into the final frontier. When it comes to space exploration, America is like that one kid in class who always dreamed of being an astronaut. While other countries were busy focusing on earthly matters, America decided to set its sights on the cosmos. They formed NASA, poured billions of dollars into research and development, and basically said, "Space, we're coming for you." They put the first man on the moon, sent rovers to Mars, and launched telescopes that can see further into the universe than we ever thought possible. America's space program has inspired generations of scientists, engineers, and dreamers. It's a testament to human ingenuity, curiosity, and the insatiable desire to explore the unknown. So, the next time you look up at the night sky and marvel at the stars, remember, America helped make it possible to dream of reaching for those stars. And they're not stopping anytime soon. Get your foam fingers ready and practice your victory dance, because we're about to enter the arena of American sports dominance. From basketball to baseball, football to the Olympics, the US turns athletes into superstars. America takes its sports seriously. with massive stadiums and elaborate rituals. They've got LeBron James, the New York Yankees, and bone-crunching football. America excels in a wide range of disciplines, racking up medals like they're going out of style. So the next time you're watching your favorite sport, pay attention to the athletes at the top of their game. Chances are they're American. Put on your lab coats and grab your safety goggles because we're about to explore the world of American scientific breakthroughs. From life-saving medical advancements to mind-blowing technological innovations, the US has been at the forefront of scientific discovery for decades. They've got more Nobel Prize winners than any other country in the world. From the invention of the airplane by the Wright brothers to the development of the polio vaccine by Jonas Salk, American scientists have made life-changing contributions to humanity. With cutting-edge research in fields like genetics, nanotechnology, and renewable energy, they're tackling some of the world's most pressing challenges. American scientific achievement is fueled by a culture of curiosity, a willingness to challenge the status quo, and a deep-seated belief in the power of human ingenuity. So the next time you benefit from a medical breakthrough or marvel at a technological innovation, remember, American scientists played a role in making it happen, and they're not slowing down. Hold on to your hats, history buffs, because we're about to take a whirlwind tour of American historical resilience. From economic depressions to world wars, from natural disasters to internal strife, the US has faced its fair share of challenges, but they've always come out stronger on the other side. They survived a bloody revolution to gain their independence, weathered a devastating civil war to abolish slavery, and played a pivotal role in defeating fascism in World War II. They faced down the Soviet Union during the Cold War, rebuilt their economy after the Great Depression, and responded to the terrorist attacks of 9/11 with unity and resolve. Throughout their history, Americans have shown a remarkable ability to come together in times of crisis, to overcome adversity, and to emerge from challenges stronger than before. So the next time you're facing a challenge in your own life, remember, if America can overcome the obstacles they've faced, you can too. Draw inspiration from their resilience and determination. Fasten your fanny packs and grab your smartphones, because we're diving into the global phenomenon that is American pop culture. From the catchy tunes of pop stars to the addictive storylines of TV shows, American pop culture has infiltrated every corner of the globe. American pop culture is like that catchy song you can't get out of your head. It's everywhere you look, from the billboards and commercials to the memes and viral videos that dominate your online world. They've given us iconic TV shows like Friends and The Simpsons, and global music superstars like Taylor Swift and Beyoncé. American pop culture isn't just about mindless entertainment, it's a reflection of American society, its values, its anxieties, and its aspirations. So, the next time you find yourself humming along to a Taylor Swift song or binge-watching the latest Netflix sensation, remember you're experiencing the pervasive influence of American pop culture. So, there you have it, folks, the top 10 reasons why you really shouldn't mess with the USA. From their military might and economic influence to their cultural impact and history of resilience, this nation is a force to be reckoned with. But hey, this is just our take. We want to hear from you. Which reason do you think is the most compelling? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this wild ride through all things America. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and join the BuzzList community for more fascinating, bizarre, and downright unbelievable content. Hello everyone, and welcome back to BuzzList. Today we're diving headfirst into a subject that's close to my heart, even though I might take the mickey out of it a bit: British politeness. Now, being British myself, I know that we're practically famous for it. We're like the world's most polite queue, always saying sorry and offering cups of tea. So, if you've ever wondered why we're so darn polite, you've come to the right place. Make sure you're subscribed, and let's get into it. Right, let's start from the beginning, shall we? British manners are practically spoon-fed to us from the moment we pop out. You know what I mean. We're talking hardcore please and thank you training. Before we can even say mummy, it's like you drop your dummy as a baby and your mum's already saying, oh, would you like that back? Just say please, darling. And don't even get me started on the thank you wave. You know, the one where you're strapped into your pram like a little astronaut and your mum's making you wave at every passerby like you're the queen. It's intense, I tell you, but honestly, it works. Before you know it, you're a little politeness machine saying TR to the postman and holding doors open for old ladies. It's ingrained in our DNA, I swear. I remember this one time my little nephew Dennis, he must have been 2 at the time, spilled his juice all over my brand new trainers. And you know what he did? He looked me dead in the eye and said, terribly sorry about that, Uncle James. 2 years old. It's just how we're wired, folks. Okay, let's be real. The British weather is about as predictable as my chances of winning an Oscar for this voiceover. It's cloudy, it's rainy, it's sunny for 5 minutes, then back to cloudy again. It's a roller coaster, I tell you. But here's the thing, we Brits, we've turned talking about the weather into an art form. It's our national pastime, our way of breaking the ice without, actually having to say anything too interesting. You'll be stuck at the bus stop. Complete stranger next to you, and bam! Bit nippy out today, innit? Conversation started. We're practically fluent in the language of drizzle and overcast skies. It's brilliant, really. It's a polite way to avoid awkward silences, controversial topics, and actually having to make real conversation. Brexit. Oh, dear me. Look at those rain clouds gathering. Might need to fetch my brolly, see? Politeness through meteorology. Now, if there's one thing we Brits take more seriously than tea, it's the queue. Yes, the queue, that magical line of people where everyone knows their place and no one, I repeat, no one dares to cut. It's like our version of the law of the land, more sacred than the crown jewels. You could be waiting for a bus, a concert ticket, or even just the last croissant at the bakery. There's a queue, and you best believe we're joining it with the utmost respect. I remember once I was at the supermarket, just minding my own business in the express lane, because, celebrity. And this bloke, he just waltzes in with a trolley full of groceries. Can you believe the audacity? The whole queue erupted in a chorus of tut-tuts and disapproving coughs. It was beautiful. The poor bloke didn't know what hit him. He scurried back to the end of the queue faster than you could say bangers in mash. It's just not the done thing, We queue, therefore we are polite. All right, let's talk about the S word. No, not that one. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about sorry. We Brits, we apologise for everything, and I mean everything. You bump into someone, sorry. Someone bumps into you, sorry. You sneeze, spill your tea, or accidentally make eye contact on the tube, sorry, sorry, sorry. It's like our national catchphrase, our verbal safety net. We could probably win a gold medal in the apologetic Olympics if there was such a thing. I'm pretty sure I've apologised to inanimate objects before. Stubbed my toe on the table leg. Sorry, table, didn't see you there. The best part is, we don't even have to actually be at fault to apologise. It's more about acknowledging the inconvenience, even if that inconvenience is entirely self-inflicted. It's just good manners, innit? Right, let's talk about the nation's favourite beverage, the one, the only tea. Now, tea in Britain isn't just a drink, it's a symbol of comfort, a social lubricant, and a darn good excuse to put the kettle on. And you better believe there's a whole lot of politeness swirling around in that lovely cuppa. Firstly, offering tea is practically mandatory in any social situation. Friend pops over, tea? Plumber's fixing your sink? Tea just survived an alien invasion? Bloody right, put the kettle on, we need tea. And don't even think about refusing a cuppa when offered. It's considered downright rude. You'll get a suspicious look and a suit yourself, but trust me, you've just committed a social faux pas of epic proportions. But it's not just about the offering, it's about the whole ritual. The milk first or water first debate, the careful stirring, the polite slurping, never ever slurp loudly, that's just barbaric. It's all part of the dance of British politeness. Now you've probably heard of the stiff upper lip, that very British trait of stoicism and emotional reserve. Well, guess what? It plays a big role in our politeness too. You see, Brits, we're not big on public displays of, well, anything really. We keep calm, we carry on, and we certainly don't want to cause a scene. So instead of shouting our heads off or throwing a tantrum when things go pear-shaped, we slap on a smile, mutter a polite "dear me" and get on with it. I mean, imagine this. You're at a fancy restaurant and the waiter accidentally spills a whole tray of food on you. Do you scream, shout and demand to speak to the manager? No, mate, you brush yourself off, say, "Oh dear, no worries, these things happen," and then probably apologise to the waiter for getting in the way. That's the stiff upper lip in action. It might seem a bit bizarre to our more expressive friends around the world, but hey, it works for us. Keeps things civil, doesn't it? All right, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the crumpet in the tea cosy. Because, yes, even when we're throwing shade, us Brits, we like to keep it polite. We're masters of the subtle dig, the backhanded compliment, the insult so well disguised as a pleasantry you're not even sure if you should be offended or flattered. For example, imagine someone shows up to a party in a, shall we say, interesting outfit. A true Brit wouldn't say, "Oh my God, what are you wearing?" No, that's far too crass. Instead, we'd say something like, "Oh, that's a bold choice." You certainly don't shy away from making a statement, do you see? Insult delivered, but wrapped in a perfectly polite package. It's all about subtlety, innuendo, and a healthy dose of good humour. We might be ripping you to shreds with our words, but we'll do it with a smile and a bless your heart. It's just how we roll. Now, let's be honest, no one does politeness quite like the royals, do they? I mean, they've been setting the standard for regal decorum for centuries. They're like the ultimate etiquette role models, with their polite smiles, perfect posture, and ability to make small talk with ambassadors while simultaneously eating a tiny canapé without getting lipstick on the rim. It's a skill, I tell you, and you better believe their influence trickles down to us common folk. We might not have to curtsy to our breakfast cereal or anything, but there's a certain pressure to be on our best behaviour, even if it's just while sipping our tea and watching the Queen's or King's speech on Christmas Day. Plus, let's not forget the power of a good royal wave. You know the one, the elegant hand wiggle that says, "Hello, I acknowledge your existence, but please don't get any closer." It's iconic. We try to emulate it, but let's be real, no one does it quite like them. All right, let's talk about our secret weapon, the thing that helps us navigate awkward situations, diffuse tension, and maintain a veneer of politeness, even when we're internally screaming, our sense of humour. Yes, us Brits, we love a good laugh, even if it's at our own expense. We use humour to bond, to break the ice, and to avoid saying what we really mean. It's like our national defence mechanism. Someone spills a drink on us, crack a joke about needing a change of clothes anyway. Weather's miserable. Time to make fun of the sunshine's inability to hold down a job. Stuck in a traffic jam. Well, that's just an excellent opportunity to practice our stand-up routine about the joys of motorway driving. It might seem self-deprecating, sarcastic, or even a bit dry at times, but trust me, it comes from a good place. It's our way of saying, hey, life's a bit mad, innit? Let's have a chuckle about it. All right, last but not least, let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Because, believe it or not, British politeness, it's got history. Centuries of it, in fact. From the days of knights and chivalry to the Victorian era's obsession with etiquette, we've been schooled in the art of good manners for generations. It's all about respect, decorum, and not airing your dirty laundry in public. Of course, back in the day, things were a bit more, shall we say, formal. We're talking about bowing, curtsying, and never addressing someone by their first name, unless you were like best mates with their pet parrot. Thankfully, things have relaxed a bit since then. We've swapped our powdered wigs for baseball caps, and we're no longer expected to duel to the death over a spilled cup of tea. But the core values of politeness, they've stuck around. So, there you have it, my friends. A whirlwind tour of British politeness. From our love of cues to our mastery of the polite insult, we've covered it all. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button for more hilarious insights into this crazy thing we call life. And most importantly, I want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments your favourite British mannerism or the funniest polite encounter you've had. Have you ever experienced the wrath of a queue jumper? Or been offered tea by someone who just witnessed a meteor shower? Let's have a good chuckle together in the comments section. Until next time, cheers. Hey there, BuzzListers. Thanks for stopping by our corner of the internet on this fine and festive day. We appreciate you choosing us for your daily dose of infotainment, especially today when we're diving headfirst into the star-spangled pool of American history and humour. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Yes, it's that time of year again. The grills are fired up, the fireworks are prepped for their explosive debut, and we're all reminded why air conditioning is a cornerstone of modern civilization. But amidst the BBQ smoke and patriotic sing-alongs, let's take a quick trip back in time, shall we? July 4th, 1776. A date forever etched in the annals of American history. It was on this day that a group of brave, Whig-loving colonists decided they'd had enough of British rule. They were tired of the taxes, the lack of representation, and the heavy hand of King George III. These colonists, driven by a desire for freedom and self-governance, gathered in Philadelphia to make a stand. They signed the Declaration of Independence, a document that would change the course of history. This wasn't just a piece of paper, it was a bold statement of intent, a declaration of their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The signers knew the risks. They were committing treason against the British Crown, a crime punishable by death. A document so bold, so revolutionary, it made King George III spill his tea. Probably. The news of the declaration spread like wildfire, reaching the ears of the British monarch and causing quite a stir. The king, known for his firm grip on the colonies, was now faced with a rebellion that would not be easily quashed. Indeed, that moment marked the beginning of a new era, not just for America, but for the entire world. The principles enshrined in the Declaration of Independence, equality, freedom and democracy, would inspire countless other movements and revolutions across the globe. From the French Revolution to the struggles for independence in Latin America, the echoes of that fateful day in 1776 can still be heard. But for the entire world, the ripples of that declaration are still felt today. It was a turning point that reshaped the political landscape, challenging the old order and paving the way for modern democracies. The courage and vision of those early American patriots continue to inspire and remind us of the enduring power of the human spirit. The signing of the Declaration of Independence wasn't just a big deal for America, it was a monumental event that resonated far beyond its borders. It sent shockwaves across the globe, inspiring countless nations and peoples to pursue their own dreams of freedom and self-governance. It was a beacon of hope for those seeking self-determination, a symbol that change was possible, and that a new world order could be envisioned. This pivotal moment helped shape the world we live in today, influencing political ideologies, social movements, and even economic policies across continents. Of course, the road to global influence wasn't always smooth. There were wars, economic struggles, and periods of intense social upheaval. The journey was fraught with challenges and setbacks, including the fight for civil rights and equality, which showcased America's ongoing struggle to live up to its founding ideals. And let's not forget that whole disco phase in the 70s, a time of cultural experimentation and change that reflected the dynamic spirit of the nation. Today, America's influence is seen in its diverse culture, technological innovations, and its role on the global stage. The legacy of the Declaration of Independence continues to evolve, shaping not just America, but the entire world. But hey, enough about the serious stuff. Let's talk about the fun part of the 4th of July. We're talking barbecues, parades, and enough fireworks to make a pyrotechnician weep with joy. Or maybe that's just fear. And who could forget the annual hot dog eating contest? It's a beautiful display of gluttony and American exceptionalism all rolled into one. So as you're enjoying your burgers, dodging questionable potato salad, and oohing and aahing at the fireworks, take a moment to reflect on the significance of this day. It's not just about the food and the fun, but about the history and the values that we hold dear. Think about the courage and determination of those who fought for our freedom and the ongoing journey to uphold those ideals. It's a celebration of freedom, independence, and the pursuit of happiness. These are not just words, but principles that have shaped our nation and continue to inspire us. Whether you're with family, friends, or even enjoying some alone time, remember that this day is a tribute to the spirit of resilience and the quest for a better future. And maybe a few extra hot dogs, because why not? After all, what's a celebration without indulging in some classic American treats? Hot dogs, apple pie, and maybe even some homemade ice cream. It's all part of the experience that makes this day special. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments how you're celebrating. Share your favorite traditions, your best barbecue tips, or even your most memorable 4th of July moments. We love hearing from you and seeing how you make this day your own. And if you're feeling extra patriotic, why not visit a historical landmark, read the Declaration of Independence? It's shorter than you think. Or simply have a heartfelt conversation with a bald eagle. These activities can deepen your appreciation for the freedoms we enjoy. Happy 4th of July. Let's make it a day to remember, filled with joy, reflection, and a renewed commitment to the values that unite us.
Hello everyone and welcome back to BuzzList, the only channel on YouTube brave enough to tackle the sticky subject of why too much sugar is like that friend who overstays their welcome at a party. Initially fun, ultimately exhausting. Today, we're diving headfirst into the sweet abyss to unearth the top 10 reasons why breaking up with sugar might be the best decision you make all year. Get ready to ditch the Candy Crush and embrace a healthier, happier you, because things are about to get real, sweet. Let's face it, folks, our hearts are kind of a big deal. Consuming too much sugar is like forcing your heart to binge-watch reality TV, entertaining at first, but ultimately damaging in the long run. Over time, this sugary onslaught can lead to serious issues like high blood pressure, clogged arteries, and an increased risk of heart disease. But fear not, my friends, because just like escaping a bad relationship, cutting down on sugar can do wonders for your heart health. It's like finally swiping left on that sugar-crazed significant other and finding someone who truly appreciates your heart for the lean, mean, blood-pumping machine it is. Trust me, your heart will thank you for it. We've all been there, that 3 p.m. slump that hits you like a ton of bricks after a particularly sugary lunch. Congratulations, you've just experienced the dreaded sugar crash. Think of your body as a high-performance sports car, and sugar as that cheap, low-grade fuel you accidentally put in the tank. Sure, you might get an initial burst of energy, but it's short-lived and ultimately leaves you sputtering to a halt. That's because sugar messes with your body's insulin levels, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar followed by an equally rapid crash. But when you cut back on sugar and fuel your body with whole, unprocessed foods, it's like giving your internal engine a premium upgrade. You'll experience sustained energy levels throughout the day, without the crashes, cravings, or embarrassing public naps. So ditch the sugary drinks and processed snacks, and embrace a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Let's be honest, no one enjoys a trip to the dentist. Sugar feeds the bacteria in your mouth, which then produce acids that attack your tooth enamel like tiny sugar-crazed gremlins. Over time, this can lead to cavities, gum disease, and a smile that could curdle milk. But when you cut down on sugar, you're essentially cutting off their food supply, leaving them weak, disoriented, and far less likely to wreak havoc on your mouth. Think of it as a dental intervention, but instead of confronting your loved one about their destructive habits, you're confronting your own sweet tooth. And the best part? Your dentist might actually start liking you. So ditch the sugary drinks, candy, and desserts, and embrace a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and water. Your teeth will thank you for it, and you might even get a free toothbrush out of the deal. Let's address the elephant in the room, or rather the extra pounds that seem to magically appear after a weekend of indulging in sugary treats. Sugar is packed with empty calories, meaning it provides very little nutritional value while simultaneously packing on the pounds. When you consume more sugar than your body can burn, it gets stored as fat, leading to weight gain, sluggishness, and a wardrobe that seems to be shrinking right before your eyes. But when you cut down on sugar, you're essentially giving those excess calories an eviction notice. Your body will start burning stored fat for energy, leading to weight loss, increased energy levels, and maybe even the confidence to finally rock that swimsuit you've been hiding in the back of your closet. So ditch the sugary drinks, processed snacks, and desserts, and embrace a diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods. Your waistline will thank you for it, and you might even have to buy new pants. Let's be honest, we all want that radiant, glowing skin that makes us look like we just stepped out of a skincare commercial. But if your idea of a balanced breakfast involves a donut and a double espresso, your skin might be sending you an SOS signal in the form of breakouts, inflammation, and a complexion that could rival a pepperoni pizza. Sugar triggers inflammation in the body, which can manifest as acne, redness, and a general "I need a facial" kind of vibe. When sugar enters your bloodstream, it sets off a chain reaction that increases insulin levels and stimulates the production of sebum, the oily substance that can clog pores and lead to breakouts. But when you cut down on sugar, you're essentially hitting the reset button on your skin. By reducing inflammation and balancing your hormones, you're giving your skin the opportunity to heal, regenerate, and achieve that coveted lit-from-within glow. So ditch the sugary drinks, processed snacks and desserts, and embrace a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and water. Ah, sugar and insulin, a tale as old as time, or at least as old as the invention of the donut. When you consume sugar, your blood sugar levels spike, and your pancreas releases insulin to help your cells absorb that sugar for energy. Over time, constantly bombarding your body with sugar can lead to insulin resistance, meaning your cells become less responsive to insulin's effects. This can lead to a buildup of sugar in your bloodstream, increasing your risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and other chronic health problems. But when you cut down on sugar, you're essentially giving your pancreas and insulin a much-needed break. By reducing your sugar intake, you're helping your body regulate blood sugar levels more effectively, reducing your risk of developing insulin resistance and other health problems. So ditch the sugary drinks, processed snacks and desserts, and embrace a diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods. Your pancreas will thank you for it, and you'll be doing your part to prevent a chronic health condition. Let's talk about digestion, shall we? It's not exactly the most glamorous topic, but it's an essential bodily function that deserves a little more respect than being bombarded with sugar bombs on a regular basis. Your gut is like a complex ecosystem, home to trillions of bacteria that play a crucial role in digestion, immunity, and overall health. But when you overload your system with sugar, it's like unleashing a pack of sugar-crazed toddlers into your gut's carefully organized playroom. Sugar disrupts the delicate balance of your gut microbiome, feeding the bad bacteria that can lead to inflammation, bloating, gas, and a whole host of digestive discomforts. But when you cut down on sugar, you're essentially restoring order to the gut kingdom. By reducing inflammation and promoting the growth of good bacteria, you're creating a more hospitable environment for digestion, absorption, and overall gut health. So ditch the sugary drinks, processed snacks, and desserts and embrace a diet rich in fiber, fruits, vegetables, and fermented foods. Ever feel like your brain is stuck in a perpetual fog, struggling to focus, remember things, and generally function at optimal capacity? Well, your sugar habit might be the culprit. When you overload your system with sugar, it's like sending your brain on a wild goose chase, causing spikes and crashes in blood sugar levels that leave you feeling foggy, irritable, and about as sharp as a butter knife. But when you cut down on sugar and embrace a balanced diet, you're essentially giving your brain the gift of focus. By stabilizing blood sugar levels and providing your brain with a steady stream of nutrients, you'll experience improved concentration, memory, and overall cognitive function. So ditch the sugary drinks, processed snacks and desserts, and embrace a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein. Your brain will thank you for it, and you might even remember where you left your keys for once. Let's face it, we all want to live long, healthy lives, preferably without wrinkles, age spots, or the need for dentures. Sugar accelerates the aging process, increasing inflammation, oxidative stress, and the risk of developing chronic diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. But when you cut down on sugar, you're essentially hitting the brakes on the aging process. By reducing inflammation, oxidative stress, and the risk of developing chronic diseases, you're giving your body a fighting chance to age gracefully, maintain optimal health, and maybe even outlive your childhood pet turtle. So ditch the sugary drinks, processed snacks and desserts, and embrace a diet rich in antioxidants, fruits, vegetables, and whole, unprocessed foods. Your future self will thank you for it, and you might even get carded at your 100th birthday party. Live long and prosper without the sugar. We all know the importance of a good night's sleep, but if you're constantly hitting the snooze button, waking up groggy, and feeling like you could sleep for a week straight, your sugar habit might be the culprit. Sugar disrupts your sleep patterns like a mischievous poltergeist, causing blood sugar spikes and crashes that leave you tossing and turning all night long. But when you cut down on sugar, you're essentially giving your sleep cycle a much-needed reboot. By stabilizing blood sugar levels and promoting the production of melatonin, the sleep-regulating hormone, you'll experience deeper, more restful sleep, waking up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to conquer the day. So ditch the sugary drinks, processed snacks, and desserts, and embrace a relaxing bedtime routine that promotes sleep. Your body and mind will thank you for it, and you might even find yourself waking up before your alarm clock for once. So there you have it, folks. 10 compelling reasons to break up with sugar and embrace a healthier, happier you. Remember, cutting down on sugar doesn't have to be a punishment. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to BuzzList for more life-changing advice, hilarious insights, and the occasional deep dive into the world of random facts. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried cutting down on sugar? What were your biggest challenges and triumphs? Share your experiences in the comment section below. Until next time, stay sweet, but not too sweet. Hello everyone, and welcome back to BuzzList, your one-stop shop for all things fascinating, terrifying, and everything in between. Today we're taking a virtual road trip, and trust me, you'll be glad you're in the passenger seat for this one, because we're looking at 10 roads you wouldn't want to drive at night, or maybe even in broad daylight. From treacherous mountain passes to fog-choked death traps, okay, maybe I'm being a tad dramatic. These roads are not for the faint of heart, so fasten your seatbelts, hold on to your snacks, and get ready for a wild ride. First up, we're headed to South America, to a road so infamous it's earned the nickname Death Road. I mean, can you imagine naming your road that? Talk about a PR nightmare. Nestled in the heart of the Bolivian Andes, the North Yungas Road is a narrow ribbon of gravel and sheer drops, often shrouded in fog so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. Now, I love a good mountain view as much as the next guy, but something tells me you'd be too busy gripping the steering wheel to appreciate the scenery on this one. Speaking of gripping the steering wheel, imagine navigating this bad boy with only a few feet between your tire and a sheer drop into the abyss. It's enough to make your stomach do somersaults. And if the sheer cliffs weren't enough to make you slam on the brakes, the frequent landslides and waterfalls cascading onto the road might just do the trick. But hey, at least you'd have a good story for your next dinner party, right? Just picture it, pass the potatoes, would you? Oh, and did I mention I cheated death on the North Yungas Road? You'd be the talk of the town, just maybe not for the reasons you'd hope. Next, we're heading north, way north, to the Great White Wilderness of Alaska. Rugged beauty, check. Extreme temperatures, check. A road that could double as an ice rink for polar bears, check and check. The James Dalton Highway is not your average Sunday drive. This icy behemoth stretches for over 400 miles, connecting Prudhoe Bay to the outside world. Sounds charming, right? Well, hold your horses, because this road is for experienced drivers only. We're talking about the kind of folks who consider a blizzard a minor inconvenience. Imagine driving along, the only sound the crunch of your tires on the ice, and suddenly, bam! You hit a pothole the size of a small car. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more adventurous, you realize you haven't seen another human being for hours. Just you, the vast expanse of snow and ice, and maybe a moose or two if you're lucky. So if you're looking for a road trip where you can truly disconnect from the world, the James Dalton Highway is calling your name. Just make sure your phone is fully charged, just in case you need to call for a tow truck or a search party. Now, let's switch gears and head to China, where we'll conquer the Guoliang Tunnel Road. This marvel of engineering is not for the claustrophobic, my friends, because it's literally carved into the side of a mountain. Talk about a tight squeeze. Imagine driving through a tunnel with sheer rock walls on one side and a heart-stopping drop on the other. It's enough to make you want to invest in some extra strength deodorant, let me tell you. This road is a testament to human ingenuity and, let's be honest, a little bit of madness. Can you imagine the conversations that must have happened when they were building this road? Hey Bob, how about we carve a road through that mountain? What could possibly go wrong? But hey, at least the views are spectacular. Just try not to look down while you're admiring them. And whatever you do, make sure your car insurance is up to date. Just in case you accidentally take a wrong turn and end up wedged between a rock and a hard place. Next up, we're hopping over to New Zealand, the land of hobbits, breathtaking landscapes, and apparently some of the most terrifying roads on the planet. Skipper's Canyon Road, my friends, is not for the faint of heart, or those who value their suspension. Imagine a road so narrow you'd have to breathe in to let a car pass in the opposite direction. And don't even think about checking your phone for directions, because one wrong move and you'll find yourself playing bumper cars with a flock of sheep. Now I've heard rumors that you need a special permit to drive on this road. A permit, people. Like it's some exclusive nightclub for adrenaline junkies. But hey, if you're feeling brave, or reckless depending on how you look at it, Skipper's Canyon Road is waiting to test your driving skills and your nerves of steel. Just make sure you pack a spare pair of underwear, just in case. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to the Himalayas. And no, we're not talking about a relaxing spa retreat. The Zojila Pass in India is not for the faint of heart, or those who suffer from car sickness, because this road is essentially a roller coaster carved into the side of a mountain. Imagine driving along a narrow, winding road with sheer drops on one side and towering mountains on the other. The air is thin, the views are breathtaking, and you're pretty sure you just saw a yak give you the side eye. Now I've heard stories about the Zojila Pass. Legends of mudslides, avalanches, and drivers who swore they saw a Yeti crossing the road. And let's not forget the altitude. We're talking 11,575 feet above sea level, folks. That's higher than most airplanes fly. So, pack your oxygen mask, your sense of adventure, and maybe a Sherpa guide, just in case. Next, we're taking a trip to Transylvania, Romania, home of Dracula, spooky castles, and apparently, some seriously scary roads. The Transfiguration Road is not your average Sunday drive. This winding ribbon of asphalt snakes its way through the Carpathian Mountains, offering breathtaking views and more than a few opportunities to test your brakes. Imagine driving through dense forests, the air thick with fog and the sound of your own heartbeat. You round a bend and suddenly, BAM! A castle appears out of the mist, perched precariously on a cliff top. Is it just the fog playing tricks on your eyes, or did you just see a bat fly past? The Transfiguration Road is a driver's dream, with its hairpin turns, steep inclines, and stunning scenery. Just make sure you pack a garlic necklace and a silver cross, just in case you bump into any vampires along the way. Now let's take a trip to Italy, the land of pasta, pizza, and apparently, some of the most exhilarating roads in the world. The Stelvio Pass is not for the faint of heart, or those who get dizzy easily, because this road is basically a giant game of snakes and ladders carved into the side of the Italian Alps. Imagine driving along a narrow road with sheer drops on one side and towering mountains on the other. The air is thin, the views are breathtaking, and you're pretty sure you just saw a mountain goat give you the side eye. The Stelvio Pass is famous for its 48 hairpin turns, which are basically like driving through a giant corkscrew. It's enough to make you want to pack a barf bag and a neck brace just in case. But hey, at least you'll have a great story to tell your friends, right? Just try not to brag too much about your expert driving skills. Hold on to your gyros, folks, because we're heading to Greece. And no, we're not talking about a relaxing beach vacation. The Patiopoulou-Pertikaki Road is not for the faint of heart or those who value their suspension, because this road is basically a goat track on steroids. Imagine driving along a narrow, winding road with sheer drops on one side and towering cliffs on the other. The air is thick with the scent of pine trees, the views are breathtaking, and you're pretty sure you just saw Zeus himself riding a donkey. Now, I've heard stories about the Patiopoulou-Pertikaki Road, legends of cars losing their grip on the loose gravel, drivers getting lost in the labyrinthine turns, and goats stealing sandwiches from unsuspecting tourists. So, pack your sense of adventure, your sense of humor, and maybe a spare tire or two, just in case. Next up, we're braving the cold, vast expanse of Russia, home of vodka, borscht, and apparently one of the most eerie roads on the planet. The Road of Bones, also known as the Kolyma Highway, stretches for over 1,200 miles through some of the most remote and unforgiving terrain imaginable. Imagine driving along a desolate highway, the wind howling like a banshee, and the temperature hovering somewhere around you'll freeze your bum off degrees. The only signs of life are the occasional abandoned gulag and the ghosts of the prisoners who perished building this road. The Road of Bones is not for the faint of heart, or those who scare easily, because this road has seen some things, man. It's a testament to human suffering, resilience, and the sheer determination to build a road through some of the most inhospitable conditions on Earth. So, pack your long johns, your vodka flask, and maybe a copy of the Gulag Archipelago, just in case you need some light reading material. Last but not least, we're ending our journey on a high note, literally. The Karakoram Highway, stretching from Pakistan to China, is the highest paved international road in the world. We're talking 15,397 feet above sea level, folks. That's higher than Mount Blanc. Imagine driving along a winding mountain road, the air thin and crisp, the sky a brilliant blue. You're surrounded by towering peaks, glaciers glistening in the sun, and the occasional yak giving you the side-eye. The Karakoram Highway is not for the faint of heart or those who suffer from altitude sickness, because this road will take your breath away, both figuratively and literally. It's a testament to human ingenuity, the power of international cooperation, and the sheer audacity of building a road through some of the most challenging terrain on the planet. So, pack your oxygen mask, your camera, and your sense of adventure, because the Karakoram Highway is a journey you'll never forget. Well, folks, there you have it. 10 roads that are guaranteed to give you goosebumps and maybe even a few nightmares. From the treacherous curves of the Stelvio Pass to the bone-chilling history of the Road of Bones, these roads are definitely not for the faint of heart. Which one freaked you out the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're brave enough to have driven any of these white-knuckle wonders, tell us about your experience. Remember, folks, adventure is out there, but always be prepared. Drive safe and always check your route before heading into the unknown. We'll see you in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave your comments. Hey everybody, welcome back to BuzzList. You know, we're always looking for ways to make life a little brighter, a little more fun, and a whole lot healthier. And guess what? I've got a topic for you today that checks all those boxes: exercise. Now before you click away faster than a cheetah on a coffee break, trust me on this one. We're diving into 10 reasons why breaking a sweat every day is like giving your body a high five from the inside out. Don't forget to subscribe to BuzzList so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Let's kick things off with everyone's favorite party favor, endorphins. These little mood-boosting chemicals are released when you exercise, and trust me, they know how to get the party started in your brain. We're talking about natural stress relief, folks. That feeling of anxiety melting away like ice cream on a hot summer day, you can thank those endorphins for that. And the best part, you don't have to wait in line for this mood-boosting magic. A brisk walk, a dance party in your living room, even chasing your dog around the park. It all counts. So ditch the stress eating and opt for some sweat-inducing fun instead. Your brain will thank you for it. And hey, if you happen to crack a smile while you're at it, you can tell everyone it's the endorphins talking. Remember the good old days when you could sleep through the night without a single care in the world? Yeah, me too. Well, guess what can help us get back to those blissful nights of slumber? You got it, exercise. Regular physical activity can be like a lullaby for your body, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. And who wouldn't want that? Say goodbye to those late-night infomercials and hello to sweet dreams. Now I know what you're thinking. Ellen, you're telling me that moving my body more will actually make me want to move it less when it's time for bed. And the answer is a resounding yes. It's like magic, but instead of a wand, we're using our legs, arms, maybe even a hula hoop if you're feeling adventurous. The point is, when you exercise, you're tiring yourself out in a good way. It's like hitting the reset button on your sleep cycle. And who knows, you might even wake up feeling so refreshed and energized you'll be ready to tackle the day, or at least make it through that morning meeting without yawning. Feeling sluggish? Like you could use a little boost to power through your day? Well, put down that energy drink and step away from the coffee pot, my friend, because we're about to unlock the secret to natural, long-lasting energy. You guessed it, exercise. That's right, moving your body can actually make you feel more energized, not less. Think of it this way, when you exercise, you're basically giving your body a pep talk, telling it to step up its game. And your body, being the overachiever that it is, responds by increasing blood flow, boosting circulation, and delivering oxygen to your muscles like a well-oiled machine. The result? You feel like you can conquer the world, or at least make it through that to-do list without needing a nap. So ditch the caffeine crutches and lace up those sneakers. Your body will thank you for the energy boost, and your wallet will thank you for all the money you'll save on expensive energy drinks. It's a win-win. Alright, let's talk about the good stuff, the physical benefits of exercise. We're talking about a healthier heart, stronger muscles, improved flexibility, the works. It's like giving your body a VIP pass to the fountain of youth. Regular exercise is like a superhero workout for your heart, making it stronger and more efficient at pumping blood throughout your body. And a happy heart means a happy you. But wait, there's more. Exercise also helps strengthen your muscles and bones, making you less prone to injuries and more likely to win a dance-off with your grandma. And let's not forget about flexibility. Regular stretching can improve your range of motion, making everyday activities like tying your shoes or reaching for that top shelf a breeze. So basically, exercise is like a personal trainer, massage therapist, and fountain of youth all rolled into one. Let's be real, weight management can be a touchy subject, but it's also an important one. So let's dive in. Exercise can play a key role in maintaining a healthy weight, or shedding those extra pounds that have been hanging around like unwanted house guests. Now, I'm not promising you'll wake up looking like a supermodel after one workout, but I am saying that incorporating regular physical activity into your routine can make a world of difference. Think of it this way. Exercise is like a calorie-burning machine. The more you move, the more calories you burn, and the easier it is to manage your weight. But it's not just about burning calories, it's also about building muscle. And muscle is like a calorie-burning furnace, even when you're not working out. So basically, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, even while you're binge-watching your favorite show. It's like a win-win. Think of exercise as a brain booster, like a mental treadmill for your noggin. Studies have shown that regular physical activity can actually improve cognitive function, boost memory, and even help prevent age-related decline. It's like giving your brain a workout, and who couldn't use a little extra brain power these days? So how does it work? Well, when you exercise, your brain gets flooded with oxygen-rich blood, which is like a superfood for your brain cells. This increased blood flow can improve memory, focus, and overall cognitive function. It's like giving your brain a mental massage. So next time you're feeling mentally sluggish, skip the crossword puzzle and go for a run, do some yoga, or even just dance around your living room like nobody's watching. Your brain will thank you for it. Want to build a fortress around those pesky germs? Well, grab your sweatbands and get ready to boost your immune system the natural way, with exercise. That's right, regular physical activity can actually strengthen your body's defense system, making it better equipped to fight off those nasty bugs that love to make us sick. Think of exercise as a training montage for your immune system. When you work up a sweat, your body releases white blood cells, which are like the superheroes of your immune system, fighting off infections and keeping you healthy. And the more you exercise, the better trained those white blood cells become, making them a force to be reckoned with in the battle against germs. So next time you're feeling under the weather, skip the cough drops and go for a walk, do some yoga, or even just dance around your living room like nobody's watching. Your immune system will thank you for it. Who says exercise has to be a solitary endeavor? Grab a friend, join a class, and get ready to sweat your way to a more social life. Group exercise classes are a fantastic way to meet new people, make friends, and add a little fun to your fitness routine. Think about it. You're already sweating and huffing and puffing together. Might as well bond over it, right? Plus, there's something incredibly motivating about working out with a group. It's like having a built-in support system, cheering you on and holding you accountable. So ditch the solo gym sessions and try a group fitness class. You might just surprise yourself with how much fun you have and the amazing people you meet along the way. Want bones as strong as a superhero? Well, grab your weights and get ready to pump some iron, because we're about to unlock the secret to building a skeletal system that's practically indestructible. Weight-bearing exercises like lifting weights, running, and even just walking are like a workout for your bones, making them stronger and healthier. Think of it this way. When you challenge your bones with weight-bearing exercises, you're essentially telling them to step up their game, and your bones, being the overachievers that they are, respond by becoming denser and stronger. It's like giving your bones a superhero upgrade. But it's not just about weightlifting. Activities like yoga and Pilates can also improve bone health by increasing flexibility and balance, which can reduce your risk of falls and fractures. Let's talk about the long game, the impact of exercise on your lifespan. Studies have shown that regular physical activity is linked to a longer life expectancy. That's right, exercise can actually help you live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Now, I'm not promising you immortality, but I am saying that making exercise a part of your routine can significantly increase your chances of living a long and healthy life. Think of it this way: exercise is like an investment in your future health. The more you invest in your health today, the greater the returns you'll reap in the years to come. So, lace up those sneakers, grab a friend, and let's get moving. Your future self will thank you for it. So there you have it, folks. 10 solid reasons why breaking a sweat every day is like giving your body a standing ovation. From boosting your mood to improving your sleep, increasing your energy levels to strengthening your immune system, exercise is the ultimate act of self-care. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you're ready to embrace a healthier, happier you, and hit that subscribe button for more awesome content. Now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite way to break a sweat? Let me know in the comments below. Start your exercise journey today and share your progress with us in the comments.
Hey everybody, welcome to BuzzList. Today we're diving into the top 10 biggest sinkholes that will blow your mind. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ding that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our mind-blowing content. Get ready to be amazed by these colossal craters that look like they were ripped straight out of a Hollywood disaster movie. First up, we're heading to Belize, where the Great Blue Hole lies in the Caribbean Sea. This massive marine sinkhole stretches over 1,000 feet across and plunges over 400 feet deep. You could drop the entire Empire State Building in there and still have room for a Starbucks on top. Its stunning blue color is like a giant paintbrush swirled in the most vibrant shade of turquoise imaginable. Divers from around the world flock to explore its depths, teeming with marine life and intricate limestone formations. But let's be honest, the real reason everyone wants to dive here is to feel like they're swimming into another dimension. It's like a portal to a secret underwater world, and I, for one, am adding it to my bucket list. Next up, we're traveling to China to meet Shaozhai Tiankeng, also known as the Heavenly Pit. This colossal sinkhole is so massive it could swallow a small city without breaking a sweat. It's 2,172 feet long, 1,762 feet wide, and over 2,000 feet deep. Formed over millions of years by an underground river eroding the limestone bedrock, it's a testament to nature's patience. Local legends say it was formed when a mythical dragon descended from the heavens and crashed into the earth. And honestly, after seeing pictures of this place, I'm inclined to believe them. From China, we're heading to Oman, where the Bima sinkhole awaits. This sinkhole is all about crystal clear turquoise water and pure relaxation. Imagine lounging on a pristine white beach with a shimmering pool of water so blue it could rival the most expensive gemstone. Unlike some of the other sinkholes on our list, this one is a popular swimming spot for locals and tourists alike. The water is said to have therapeutic properties thanks to its unique mineral composition. So not only can you snap some envy-inducing Instagram photos, but you can also tell your friends you took a dip in a natural spa. Legend has it that the Bima sinkhole was created when a meteorite crashed into the earth, leaving behind a crater that filled with water. Hold your breath and grab your scuba gear because we're diving into the depths of Dean's Blue Hole in the Bahamas. This natural wonder is not just a sight to behold, but an experience that will leave you in awe. This is the deepest blue hole in the world that's accessible from land at 663 feet deep. Its sheer depth and the clarity of its waters make it a unique destination for divers and adventurers alike. Dean's Blue Hole is teeming with marine life, from colourful fish and graceful stingrays to the occasional curious shark. The biodiversity here is astounding, offering a glimpse into an underwater world that feels almost otherworldly. It's also a mecca for free divers, those fearless individuals who plunge into the depths on a single breath. These divers train rigorously to explore the blue hole, pushing their bodies to the limit in search of personal and world records. This site has hosted numerous world record attempts, with divers pushing the limits of human endurance. Each dive is a testament to human determination and the relentless pursuit of breaking barriers. Imagine the feeling of weightlessness as you descend deeper into the blue abyss, the sunlight slowly fading above you. The deeper you go, the more you feel the embrace of the ocean, a serene yet humbling experience. It's both exhilarating and terrifying, a true testament to the power and mystery of the natural world. The thrill of the dive is matched only by the awe-inspiring beauty that surrounds you, making Dean's Blue Hole a must-visit for any diving enthusiast. Get ready to feel small because we're heading to one of the largest sinkholes on the planet, the Qattara Depression in Egypt. This colossal natural formation is not just a geographical marvel, but also a testament to the raw power of nature. This massive natural wonder covers a whopping 7,500 square miles. To put that into perspective, it's an area so vast that it could easily swallow entire cities and still have room to spare. That's roughly the size of New Jersey. But unlike the Garden State, this depression isn't exactly known for its bustling cities and scenic boardwalks. Instead, it offers a different kind of allure, one that speaks to the adventurer and the explorer in all of us. Picture a vast expanse of sand dunes, salt pans and rocky outcrops baking under the scorching African sun. The landscape is both harsh and mesmerizing, a true desert wilderness that challenges the very essence of life. The Qattara Depression is one of the lowest points in Africa, reaching depths of 436 feet below sea level. This makes it a unique geological feature, a natural basin that dips far below the surrounding terrain. It's so inhospitable that it's remained largely uninhabited throughout history. The harsh conditions have deterred human settlement, leaving the area largely untouched by modern civilization. But don't let its desolate appearance fool you. Beneath its stark exterior lies a world teeming with life and mystery. The Qattara Depression is a place of stark beauty and scientific intrigue, home to a surprising array of creatures, including gazelles, foxes, and even the elusive cheetah. These animals have adapted to the harsh environment, showcasing nature's incredible resilience. Scientists believe it was formed over millions of years by a combination of wind erosion and the gradual weathering of the underlying rock. This slow but relentless process has sculpted the landscape into the awe-inspiring formation we see today, a testament to the enduring power of natural forces. Prepare to be transported to a realm of myth and legend as we explore the Dragon Hole in the South China Sea. This underwater sinkhole, also known as the Sancha Yongle Blue Hole, plunges to depths of over 980 feet. That's deeper than the Eiffel Tower is tall. Imagine the pressure down there. For centuries, local fishermen have whispered tales of a fearsome dragon that resides in the depths of this blue hole. While we haven't found any evidence of dragons yet, the Dragon Hole is teeming with marine life, making it a fascinating destination for scientists and explorers. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this next sinkhole is the stuff of nightmares. In 2010, Guatemala City experienced a terrifying reminder of the power of nature when a massive sinkhole opened up, swallowing a 3-story factory hole. Thankfully, there were no casualties in this particular incident, but the images of the gaping chasm in the middle of the city are enough to send shivers down your spine. This sinkhole, measuring 66 feet wide and 300 feet deep, was caused by a combination of factors, including heavy rainfall, a leaky sewage system, and the city's location on top of porous volcanic bedrock. It serves as a stark reminder that even in our modern world, nature can still pack a devastating punch. From Guatemala, we travel to the cold expanse of Russia, where a different kind of sinkhole is wreaking havoc. The Berezniki sinkhole, located in the Ural Mountains, is a testament to the unintended consequences of human activity. This massive crater, measuring over 1,300 feet long, 820 feet wide, and over 720 feet deep, formed in 1986 when a nearby potash mine flooded. The Berezniki sinkhole has already swallowed several buildings and forced the evacuation of thousands of residents. It's a constant threat to the surrounding town, a stark reminder of the delicate balance between human progress and the environment. Hold on to your beignets because we're heading back to the United States, specifically the Bayou Corn community in Louisiana. This sinkhole, which formed in 2012, is a stark reminder that even in the land of gumbo and Mardi Gras, nature can throw a real curveball. Imagine living your best life in a quiet bayou community when suddenly the ground beneath your feet starts bubbling and swallowing trees whole. The culprit? An underground salt dome collapse, triggered by the activities of a nearby industrial brine well. The sinkhole forced the evacuation of the entire community, leaving behind a ghost town and a whole lot of unanswered questions. Last but not least, we arrive at a sinkhole with a name that's as ominous as it is intriguing, the Devil's Sinkhole in Texas. This natural wonder is not just a geological marvel, but also a place steeped in mystery and folklore. This massive cavern plunges 400 feet into the earth and stretches a whopping 50 feet wide. To put that into perspective, that's about the height of a 40-story building and the width of a 5-story building. But what makes the Devil's Sinkhole truly unique is its inhabitants. This isn't just an empty chasm, it's a thriving ecosystem. Every summer, millions of Mexican free-tailed bats migrate to this site, turning it into one of the largest known bat colonies in the world. These bats are an essential part of the local ecosystem, helping to control insect populations. As the sun sets, the sky above the sinkhole transforms into a swirling vortex of bats, emerging from their daytime slumber to hunt for insects. The sight of millions of bats taking flight is both mesmerizing and slightly eerie. It's a sight that's both awe-inspiring and slightly terrifying, a reminder that nature is full of surprises. The sheer number of bats and the sound of their wings create an unforgettable experience. Local legends abound about the Devil's Sinkhole, with tales of lost cattle, mysterious lights, and even portals to other dimensions. These stories add an extra layer of intrigue to an already fascinating natural wonder, making it a must-visit for adventurers and nature enthusiasts alike. Well, there you have it, folks. The top 10 biggest sinkholes that will blow your mind. From the crystal-clear waters of the Great Blue Hole to the bat-infested depths of the Devil's Sinkhole, these natural wonders remind us of the incredible power and mystery of our planet. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to BuzzList for more mind-blowing content. Until next time, keep exploring.
Yo, what's up everybody? It's BuzzList, bringing you the most mind-blowing bridges on Earth. We're talking feats of engineering, crazy lengths, and heights that'll make you want to jump. Just kidding, don't jump. These bridges are more than just concrete and steel. They're symbols of human ingenuity, connecting us in ways we never thought possible. Alright, let's do this. First up, we're heading to Japan, the land of the rising sun, bullet trains, and some of the most incredible engineering marvels you'll ever see. Among these marvels is the longest suspension bridge in the world, the Akashi Kaikyo Bridge. This isn't just any bridge, it's a true masterpiece of modern engineering. This monster stretches for almost 2.5 miles. Imagine driving across it. You'd be on the bridge for what feels like forever, surrounded by stunning views of the sea. The story behind its construction is just as impressive. They had to redesign the bridge mid-construction because of a massive earthquake. Talk about a challenge. The earthquake shifted the two towers apart by almost 3 feet, but the engineers didn't back down. But hey, they pulled it off. And now it stands as a testament to human perseverance and the ability to overcome any obstacle. The bridge's completion is a story of resilience, innovation, and sheer determination. Seriously though, this bridge is beyond epic. Its towers soar into the sky and the cables stretch out like the strings of a giant harp. It's a sight to behold, especially when it's lit up at night. The Akashi Kaikyo Bridge is a must-see for any bridge enthusiast or anyone who appreciates incredible feats of engineering. It's not just a bridge, it's a symbol of what humans can achieve when they put their minds to it. So if you ever find yourself in Japan, make sure to check out this engineering wonder. You won't be disappointed. Whether you're taking photos, walking across it, or just admiring it from afar, the Akashi Kaikyo Bridge is an experience you won't forget. It's a perfect blend of beauty and functionality, a true icon of modern engineering. And don't forget to catch it at sunset, or when it's illuminated at night. The bridge transforms into a glowing beacon, casting a magical spell over the waters below. It's a sight that will leave you in awe, a fitting end to a day of exploration and wonder. Next up, we're hopping over to China, where they're known for doing things big. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge is a masterpiece of modern engineering, connecting 3 major cities with a network of bridges, tunnels, and artificial islands. It's like the Swiss Army knife of bridges. The real beauty of this bridge is its ability to connect people and cultures. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge is a testament to human ingenuity and our desire to connect with one another. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to embark on a journey across the longest bridge in the world. This isn't just any bridge, it's a marvel of modern engineering and a testament to human ingenuity. Imagine a structure so vast it stretches beyond the horizon, connecting cities and communities in a way that was once thought impossible. This time we're talking about the Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge, a behemoth of a structure that stretches for over 100 miles. That's right, over 100 miles of concrete and steel, meticulously designed to withstand the test of time and the elements. It's not just a bridge, it's a lifeline for millions of people who rely on it for their daily commute. To put that into perspective, that's longer than the entire New York City subway system. Imagine the sheer scale of this bridge, dwarfing one of the most extensive subway systems in the world. It's a feat that boggles the mind and showcases the incredible advancements in engineering and construction techniques. This bridge was built specifically for high-speed trains. These aren't your average trains. They're designed to travel at incredible speeds, making long-distance travel faster and more efficient than ever before. The bridge itself had to be constructed with precision to accommodate these high-speed marvels. Can you imagine hurtling across this thing at 200 miles per hour? That's faster than most cars on the highway. The sensation of speed combined with the stability of the bridge must be an exhilarating experience, one that leaves passengers in awe of the technology and engineering prowess that made it possible. Talk about a wild ride. The thrill of speeding across such a vast expanse with the landscape rushing by in a blur is something that has to be experienced to be truly appreciated. It's not just a journey, it's an adventure that redefines what we think of as travel. The views from this bridge must be absolutely breathtaking. As you glide along at high speeds, the scenery unfolds before you like a living painting. The bridge offers a unique vantage point, allowing passengers to see the world from a perspective that few other modes of transportation can provide. Just imagine gazing out the window at the vast expanse of Chinese countryside, rice paddies stretching as far as the eye can see. The serene beauty of the landscape, combined with the cutting-edge technology of the train, creates a juxtaposition that is both awe-inspiring and humbling. It's a reminder of the incredible things we can achieve when we blend nature and technology in harmony. All right, folks, we're heading back to the good old US of A for this next one. Get ready to be amazed by the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, a bridge so long it has its own Guinness World Record. This bad boy stretches for a whopping 24 miles across Lake Pontchartrain in Louisiana. Driving across the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway is an experience in itself. It's like driving on water, except without the whole, sinking thing. So next time you're in Louisiana and looking for an adventure, be sure to add the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway to your list. Get ready to say ooh la la because we're heading to France, the land of croissants, romance, and the tallest bridge in the world, the Millau Viaduct. This masterpiece of engineering soars over 1,100 feet above the Tarn Valley, making it taller than the Eiffel Tower. The Millau Viaduct is so high it's often shrouded in clouds. It's a testament to human ingenuity, a marvel of modern engineering, and a really, really cool place to take a selfie. Just try not to drop your phone while you're at it. Hold on tight, folks, because we're heading back to China for another epic bridge adventure. This time, we're checking out the Hangzhou Bay Bridge, one of the longest transoceanic bridges in the world. This monster stretches for over 23 miles across Hangzhou Bay, connecting the cities of Jiaxing and Ningbo. The Hangzhou Bay Bridge is so long, it has its own service area. The real highlight of this bridge is the view. Just imagine cruising along this massive structure, the sun glinting off the water, the wind in your hair, and the feeling of freedom washing over you. All right, folks, we're heading back to the East Coast for this next one. Get ready to be wowed by the George Washington Bridge, an iconic landmark that connects New York City to New Jersey. This suspension bridge is a true feat of engineering, stretching over 4,700 feet across the Hudson River. The George Washington Bridge is more than just a way to get from point A to point B. It's a symbol of American ingenuity, a testament to human perseverance, and a really, really great place to take a date. Next up, we're heading back to China for another high-speed adventure. This time, we're checking out the Yangkun Bridge, a railway bridge that's part of the Beijing-Tianjin Intercity Railway. This bad boy stretches for over 6.8 miles and is designed to handle trains traveling at speeds of up to 217 miles per hour. The Yangkun Bridge is so smooth it's said to be one of the most comfortable high-speed rail experiences in the world. This bridge was built using some of the most advanced engineering techniques in the world, and it shows. Alright folks, we're heading down south for this next one. Get ready to get spooked by the Manchac Swamp Bridge, a bridge that's as mysterious as it is beautiful. This concrete causeway stretches for over 23 miles across the Manchac Swamp in Louisiana, and it's said to be one of the most haunted places in America. The Manchac Swamp Bridge is said to be haunted by the ghost of a voodoo priestess named Julia Brown. So if you're planning on driving across the Manchac Swamp Bridge, be sure to bring your bravery and maybe a can of bug spray. We're ending our epic bridge journey in China with the Runyang Bridge, a true marvel of modern engineering. This bridge is actually two bridges in one, consisting of a suspension bridge and a cable-stayed bridge, both spanning the mighty Yangtze River. The Runyang Bridge is a sight to behold, with its towering pylons, graceful cables, and sleek roadways. This bridge represents China's incredible economic growth and its ambition to connect people and places in new and innovative ways. Plus, it just looks really, really cool. So there you have it, folks, the top 10 mega bridges that will blow your mind. These engineering marvels are not just about connecting 2 points, they are about pushing the boundaries of what is possible. From the longest suspension bridge in the world, which spans an incredible distance and stands as a symbol of human achievement, to the tallest bridge in the world, towering above the landscape and offering breathtaking views, these structures are a testament to human ingenuity. They showcase our ability to dream big and turn those dreams into reality. The construction of these mega bridges involves overcoming numerous challenges, from harsh weather conditions to complex engineering problems. Yet, with determination and innovation, we managed to build these awe-inspiring structures. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Your support helps us bring more fascinating content to you. And subscribe to BuzzList for more awesome content. We cover a wide range of topics that are sure to pique your interest. And be sure to let me know in the comments which bridge you'd most like to visit. Your feedback is invaluable and helps us understand what you love. Imagine planning a trip to see one of these magnificent bridges in person. The experience would be unforgettable, offering not just a visual treat, but also a deeper appreciation for human creativity and perseverance. Next time you cross a bridge, take a moment to think about the incredible effort and skill that went into its construction. Remember, there might be a larger one waiting to be explored. The world is full of wonders, and these mega bridges are just the beginning. Stay curious and keep exploring. Hey everybody, welcome back to BuzzList. Today, we're taking a trip across the solar system to explore the gas giant Uranus. Because Uranus is a gas giant. Get it? Now you might be thinking, Uranus, really? What's so interesting about that big blue ball of gas? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're counting down the top 10 reasons why Uranus is the last place you'd ever want to call home. And hey, while you're here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more out-of-this-world content. Okay, first up on our list of reasons to avoid Uranus like a bad blind date is the bone-chilling, soul-crushing cold. Imagine stepping into a freezer, but not just any freezer, one that's been left open in the depths of space for eons. I'm talking colder than your ex's heart after you forgot their birthday cold. The kind of cold that makes you question every life choice that led you to this moment. We're talking an average temperature of minus 224 degrees Celsius. That's not just cold, that's cryogenic. It's the kind of temperature that makes liquid nitrogen look like a warm bath. That's minus 371 degrees Fahrenheit for you folks who haven't embraced the metric system. Imagine trying to survive in a place where even the air would freeze solid. To put that into perspective, the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth was minus 89 degrees Celsius in Antarctica. And that's a place where scientists have to wear layers upon layers just to step outside. And even the penguins were like, nope, too chilly for this, I'm out of here. These are creatures built for the cold, and even they have their limits. So unless you're planning on bringing a parka the size of Texas, I'd say leave Uranus off your list of vacation destinations. You'd need gear that makes an astronaut suit look like summer wear. Trust me, no amount of thermal underwear is going to make this trip comfortable. And let's not forget the logistics. Just getting there would be a nightmare. You'd need a spacecraft capable of withstanding extreme temperatures, and even then, you'd be battling the elements every step of the way. So next time you're planning a cosmic getaway, maybe stick to somewhere a bit more temperate. Uranus might be fascinating to look at from afar, but up close, it's a frozen nightmare. Here on Earth, we take for granted the simple pleasure of, standing on solid ground, but Uranus is like one giant swirling ocean of gas. You heard me right, folks, no terra firma here. Just endless clouds of hydrogen, helium, and a sprinkling of methane for that lovely, aroma. Imagine trying to build a house on Uranus. You'd need a really, really long foundation. And forget about planting a garden, unless you're into space zucchini. So if you're someone who enjoys the feeling of solid ground beneath your feet, Uranus is going to be a major buzzkill. Okay, let's say you're some kind of super being who laughs in the face of sub-zero temperatures and doesn't mind floating through endless clouds. Well, Uranus has another little surprise for you, the atmosphere. Remember all that hydrogen, helium, and methane we talked about? Yeah, not exactly the recipe for a refreshing breath of air. In fact, taking a deep breath on Uranus would be like, well, let's just say it wouldn't end well. You'd be choking on a toxic cocktail of gases that would make a dumpster fire smell like a spring meadow. So, unless you've got some super-duper intergalactic scuba gear, I'd suggest packing a gas mask. Actually, scratch that, just stay on Earth. Uranus's wind will blow you away, literally. Alright, so we've established that Uranus is cold, lacks solid ground, and has an atmosphere that would make a skunk pass out. But did you know that the winds on Uranus are some of the most powerful in our solar system? But hey, maybe you're thinking, I'll just chill in a space-proof bunker and wait it out. Sounds like a solid plan, right? Well, not so fast. Well, hold on to your space helmet because Uranus has one more trick up its sleeve, the wind. And we're not talking about a gentle breeze here. Imagine the strongest hurricane you've ever seen, the kind that makes you want to hide in your basement. Now multiply that by like 1,000. That's Uranus, baby. These winds are so fierce they make Earth's hurricanes look like a light drizzle. With wind speeds clocking in at a breezy 900 kilometers per hour, these gales are no joke. They can whip around the planet with such force that it's almost unimaginable. Even the sturdiest space station would be turned into a cosmic confetti cannon. Imagine the chaos as metal and debris are flung into the void of space. So much for that bunker idea, huh? It's clear that surviving on Uranus would be a monumental challenge, not just because of the cold and lack of solid ground, but because of these relentless, powerful winds. So, next time you think about space travel, maybe give Uranus a pass. Uranus's seasons are longer than your attention span. Okay, let's talk seasons. Here on Earth, we've got it pretty good. Spring, summer, fall, winter, all neatly packaged into 365 days. But Uranus likes to take its sweet, sweet time. How much time, you ask? Well, each season on Uranus lasts a mind-boggling 21 Earth years. That's right, you could spend an entire human lifetime on Uranus and only experience 2 seasons. Talk about a long winter. And don't even get me started on the fashion implications. Do you really want to be stuck wearing the same spacesuit for 21 years straight? I didn't think so. Uranus is really far away. So, you're still not convinced that Uranus is a terrible place to live? Alright, fine. Let's talk about the commute. Uranus is, shall we say, a bit of a hike from Earth. I'm talking 2.9 billion kilometers. That's billion with a B. To put that into perspective, if you were to drive to Uranus at a cool 100 kilometers per hour, it would only take you a casual 3,300 years. And that's assuming you don't hit any space traffic. Forget about ordering takeout because by the time the delivery guy arrived, your pizza would be colder than Uranus itself. Speaking of cold, Uranus is seriously lacking in the H2O department. Remember how we talked about Uranus being a gas giant? Well, that also means it's incredibly dry, like Sahara Desert on steroids dry. We're talking 0 liquid water. And before you even think about building a giant Brita filter, let me remind you that the atmosphere is trying to kill you. Water is essential for life as we know it, folks. You can't make a decent cup of coffee without it, let alone survive. So, unless you're planning on bringing your own personal water supply that could rival the Pacific Ocean, I'd say hydration is going to be a major issue on Uranus. Uranus's magnetic field is weak sauce. Here on Earth, we've got a handy-dandy magnetic field that protects us from all sorts of nasty stuff from space, like cosmic radiation. It's like our own personal force field. But Uranus? Well, Uranus's magnetic field is about as effective as a screen door on a submarine. That means you'd be constantly bombarded by radiation, which is not exactly great for your health. We're talking increased risk of cancer, mutations, and possibly even developing superpowers. Okay, maybe not superpowers, but you get the point. Uranus is not the place to be if you value your DNA. Uranus makes a cave look like Times Square. Alright, let's talk about the sunshine, or lack thereof. Uranus is so far from the sun that it receives very little natural light. We're talking dimmer than a Justin Bieber concert in a blackout. So, if you're someone who enjoys soaking up the sun, Uranus is going to be a major downer. Imagine living in a perpetual twilight where the only source of light is the faint glow of distant stars. Depressing, right? You'd be reaching for that sad lamp faster than you can say vitamin D deficiency. Uranus is seriously lacking in amenities. Last but not least, let's talk about the amenities or lack thereof. When you move to a new place, you expect certain basic necessities, right? Things like houses, roads, grocery stores, maybe even a Starbucks or two. Well, I hate to break it to you, but Uranus doesn't have any of that. We're talking zero infrastructure, no shops, no restaurants, no hospitals, no nothing. It's like moving into an empty apartment with no furniture, no appliances, and no working plumbing. So unless you're really into roughing it, Uranus is going to be a major adjustment. Uranus, the seventh planet from the sun, a world of mystery and wonder, but also a place you'd never want to call home. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Seriously, folks, it's not exactly a vacation destination, so there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the top 10 reasons why Uranus is the last place you'd ever want to live. From the bone-chilling cold that would freeze you in seconds to the toxic atmosphere that would make breathing impossible, the lack of solid ground that would leave you floating aimlessly to the eternal darkness that would make you lose all sense of time, Uranus is basically a cosmic nightmare. Imagine trying to live in a place where the sun barely shines and the winds howl at speeds of up to 900 kilometers per hour. It's a world where survival is not just difficult, but downright impossible. But hey, at least we can laugh about it, right? Sometimes, humor is the best way to deal with the harsh realities of space. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. We love bringing you these cosmic adventures, and your support means the world to us. And be sure to let us know in the comments what other planets you'd like us to explore next. Whether it's the scorching surface of Venus or the icy plains of Pluto, we're ready for the challenge. Until next time, stay safe, stay grounded, and whatever you do, don't book a one-way ticket to Uranus. Trust us, it's a trip you won't want to take. Hey everybody, welcome to BuzzList, where we explore all things awesome about, well, everything. And today we're taking a look at our own little corner of the universe, this crazy little blue marble we call Earth. We're talking top 10 reasons why Earth is the ultimate crash pad, the hottest club in the galaxy that we know of, the place to be. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more awesome content like this. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the scenery, people. I mean, have you seen this place? We've got towering mountains that would make Zeus jealous, lush forests that would make Bob Ross say happy little trees on a loop, and beaches so perfect you'd think they were photoshopped. But they're not. We've got deserts hotter than my dating life in high school, glaciers cooler than my jokes about Questlove's dating life. Just kidding, Questlove. You're a rock star. From the Grand Canyon to the Great Barrier Reef, Earth is like a never-ending highlight reel of Mother Nature's greatest hits. And don't even get me started on the sunsets. Seriously, I've seen more colors in a single sunset than I have in a bag of Skittles, and that's saying something. And speaking of amazing things, can we talk about the wildlife? The sheer variety of creatures that call our planet home is nothing short of astonishing. Earth is like a giant zoo, except you don't have to pay an entrance fee, unless you count taxes, but that's a whole other video. From the dense jungles to the arid deserts, every corner of our planet is brimming with life. We've got lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, and monkeys. Don't forget the monkeys and penguins. Each species has its own unique charm and role in the ecosystem. Penguins wearing tuxedos, who dressed them? We may never know, but their adorable waddle and social behavior make them a favorite among many. But that's the beauty of it. The harmony and balance in nature are truly remarkable. From the majestic elephants with their grand presence and intelligence to the tiniest insects, each playing a crucial role in the web of life, Earth is teeming with life in all shapes and sizes. The diversity is mind-boggling, and each species contributes to the planet's rich tapestry. And let's not forget about the underwater world. The oceans are a whole other realm of wonder. We've got whales bigger than school buses, gracefully navigating the deep blue jellyfish that glow in the dark, creating a mesmerizing light show in the depths, and fish that look like they were designed by a committee of 5-year-olds. Their vibrant colors and unique shapes are a testament to nature's creativity. It's a wild and wonderful world out there, folks. Every day, nature offers us a front-row seat to the greatest show on Earth. So take a moment to appreciate the incredible diversity of life that surrounds us. Now, some planets, they're stuck in a rut. Same old weather, day in and day out. But not Earth. Our planet is a dynamic masterpiece of nature. We've got seasons, 4 of them. It's like having 4 planets for the price of 1. Each season brings its own set of wonders and challenges, making life on Earth a never-ending adventure. Spring, where everything bursts into life like your allergies. Flowers bloom, trees regain their leaves, and the world seems to wake up from its winter slumber. It's a time of renewal and growth. Summer, where you can finally wear those swim trunks you've been working on all winter, or not, no judgment here. The days are long, the sun is bright, and it's the perfect time for vacations, barbecues, and beach outings. Autumn, where the leaves put on a fashion show that would make even Anna Wintour jealous. The air turns crisp, and the landscape is painted in hues of red, orange, and gold. It's a season of harvest and reflection. And then there's winter, where you can build a snowman, have a snowball fight, or just stay inside and binge watch your favorite shows. No shame in that game. The world is blanketed in snow, creating a serene and magical atmosphere. Each season has its own unique charm, its own personality. Spring is lively, summer is vibrant, autumn is cozy, and winter is tranquil. Together they create a beautiful tapestry of experiences. It's like living in a constant state of change, which, let's face it, is way more exciting than the alternative. The ever-shifting seasons remind us of the passage of time and the beauty of transformation. They keep us on our toes and make us appreciate the fleeting moments of each period. Let's be honest, folks, you can't put a price on a good breath of fresh air. And lucky for us, Earth has plenty of it. Well, most places anyway. I'm not talking about Times Square at rush hour, but you get the idea. From the crisp mountain air to the salty sea breeze, Earth provides us with the oxygen we need to survive. And not just survive, thrive. It's like a giant oxygen bar, but without the pretentious atmosphere and the overpriced drinks. So take a deep breath, folks, and appreciate the fact that we live on a planet where you can actually, breathe. Speaking of essential things, let's talk about water. Earth is covered in the stuff. Oceans, lakes, rivers, even puddles after a good rain shower. We've got more water than a Justin Bieber concert. And it's not just any water, it's the good stuff. The kind you can drink, swim in, and do all sorts of fun stuff with. Well, maybe not all water. Don't go drinking from a puddle, that's just gross. But you get the point. Water is life, and Earth is like the ultimate water park. So next time you're sipping on a glass of water, take a moment to appreciate the fact that you live on a planet where you can actually, stay hydrated. Now I know what you're thinking. Earth is great and all, but what about the people? They can be a kind of a drag, and you know what? You're not wrong. People can be a lot, but they can also be pretty great. We've got love, laughter, and friendship. We've got families, communities, and nations. Sure, we have our differences, but at the end of the day, we're all in this together, and that's kind of beautiful when you think about it. So next time you're feeling down about humanity, remember that we're capable of some pretty amazing things, like inventing the internet, and pizza, and those little cookies with the messages inside. You know the ones. And speaking of amazing things, can we talk about the sheer diversity of cultures on this planet? It's truly mind-blowing when you think about it. It's like a giant melting pot of traditions, languages, and cuisines. Each culture brings its own unique flavor to the global table. From the bustling streets of Tokyo, where modernity meets tradition, to the ancient ruins of Machu Picchu, which whisper tales of the past, Earth is a tapestry of human experience. We've got music that'll make you want to dance, art that'll make you think, and food that'll make you want to lick the plate. Imagine the vibrant beats of a world music festival, or the profound impact of a thought-provoking art exhibition. And let's not forget about the fashion. Fashion is a powerful expression of cultural identity and creativity. We've got everything from traditional kimonos, which tell stories of heritage, to skinny jeans, a symbol of contemporary style. And yes, even those Crocs things. Don't judge. Every piece of clothing tells a story, and every trend has its own unique journey. The point is, Earth is a vibrant and colorful place thanks to the incredible diversity of its people. This diversity enriches our lives in countless ways. It's like a never-ending buffet of culture, and we're all invited to the feast. So, let's celebrate and appreciate the beautiful mosaic of traditions, languages, and customs that make our world so wonderfully diverse. Now, I'm not gonna lie, humans can be a little messy. We've got a lot of problems to solve. But the good news is, we're also pretty good at inventing things. We're like the MacGyvers of the galaxy. We've got smartphones, spaceships, and self-driving cars. We've got the internet, which lets us connect with people all over the world. And let's not forget about social media, which lets us share pictures of our food with complete strangers. The point is, we're constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Who knows what amazing things we'll come up with next? Maybe teleportation, or time travel, or maybe just a self-folding laundry basket. A guy can dream, can't he? And speaking of pushing boundaries, let's talk about education. Earth is like a giant schoolhouse with endless opportunities to learn and grow. We've got schools, universities, libraries, museums, and even YouTube. Okay, maybe YouTube isn't always the most reliable source of information, but you get the idea. The point is, we have access to more knowledge than ever before. We can learn about anything we want, from the history of the universe to the mating habits of dung beetles. And the best part is, learning is fun. Well, most of the time, except maybe for math. Math can be a bit of a drag, but you get the idea. Last but not least, let's talk about fun. Because let's face it, life on Earth would be pretty boring without a little entertainment. And lucky for us, we've got plenty of it. We've got movies, TV shows, music, video games, sports, and even stand-up comedy. Okay, maybe not everyone finds stand-up comedy entertaining, but you get the idea. The point is, there's something for everyone on this planet. Whether you're a sports fanatic, a movie buff, or a hardcore gamer, there's something out there that'll make you forget about your troubles and just enjoy the ride. So go ahead, grab some popcorn, put on your favorite playlist, and let loose. Life's too short to be bored. So there you have it, folks. The top 10 reasons why Earth is the ultimate place to live. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and hit that subscribe button for more awesome content. And be sure to let us know in the comments down below what your favorite thing about living on Earth is. Is it the stunning natural beauty, the incredible diversity of life, or maybe just the fact that we have pizza? Let us know. And until next time, keep on exploring this crazy, beautiful planet of ours. Hey everyone, welcome back to BuzzList, your daily dose of the most amazing and interesting things happening in our world and beyond. And trust me, today we're going beyond, like way beyond. We're talking about colonizing Mars. I know what you're thinking, BuzzList, that's crazy talk. But is it? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future space adventures. We're diving into the top 10 reasons why humans might just pack their bags and head to the red planet. Imagine trading in traffic jams for rover rides and oxygen bars for, well, actual oxygen. It's gonna be a wild ride, so buckle up. For as long as humans have walked this planet, we've looked up at the stars and felt this primal urge to explore. And guess what? Mars is right there, waiting for us. It's a blank canvas for human ingenuity and adventure. Think Lewis and Clark, but instead of the Pacific Ocean, they're planting the first human footprints on another planet. The sheer audacity of it all is enough to make your heart race, isn't it? To stand on Martian soil, look back at Earth and realize that we made it. Here on Earth, we've kind of messed things up. We're running out of resources, the climate's changing, and the political landscape is a mess. Mars offers a fresh start, a chance to do things differently, to create a new society. Colonizing Mars is the next great adventure for humankind, a chance to write our names in the history books. Now, let's talk science because Mars is a goldmine of scientific opportunities. Mars was once a lot like Earth. It had oceans, rivers, maybe even life. The question of whether or not we're alone in the universe has haunted us for centuries. Mars offers the best chance to find the answer. Imagine discovering fossilized Martian microbes or even evidence of a past civilization. Studying Mars can teach us so much about our own planet. By comparing the geological, atmospheric, and evolutionary processes of the two planets, we can gain a deeper understanding of how planets form, how climates change, and how life arises. Mars is rich in minerals and elements that are becoming increasingly scarce here on Earth. Mining these resources could fuel our technological advancements and provide new economic opportunities. Mars's thin atmosphere, lack of a global magnetic field, and exposure to solar radiation present unique challenges and opportunities for scientific research. So, yeah, Mars is a scientific wonderland waiting to be explored. Okay, let's face it, we humans are pretty good at messing things up. We pollute our planet, wage wars, and sometimes even elect politicians who think climate change is a hoax. Look, I'm not saying Earth is doomed tomorrow, but it's always a good idea to have a backup plan, right? Just like you back up your computer, it's not a bad idea to have a backup planet. And Mars is looking like the best candidate on the cosmic block. It's relatively close, has some resources we can use, and with a little terraforming, we might even be able to make it somewhat habitable. Imagine this, a self-sustaining colony on Mars, a second home for humanity. If something catastrophic were to happen to Earth, we wouldn't be completely wiped out. Having a backup planet would ensure the survival of our species and give us another shot at getting things right. Let's talk tech, baby, because getting to Mars, and more importantly, surviving there is going to require some serious technological innovation. And I'm not just talking about building bigger rockets, although we'll definitely need those. We're talking about developing cutting-edge life support systems, figuring out how to grow food in Martian soil, and maybe even cracking the code on fusion power. Mars is like a giant laboratory for pushing the boundaries of science and technology. Think about it. We'll need to develop advanced robotics for mining and construction, create sustainable energy sources, and find ways to recycle literally everything. These advancements won't just benefit future Martians, they'll have huge implications for life back on Earth. Imagine the breakthroughs in renewable energy, resource management, and medical technology that will emerge from the challenge of colonizing Mars. The Apollo missions to the Moon gave us advancements like freeze-dried food, scratch-resistant lenses, and even the technology behind wireless headsets. Colonizing Mars isn't just about escaping Earth's problems, it's about pushing humanity to its full potential. It's about challenging ourselves to innovate, to explore, and to create a future where technology helps us thrive, both on Earth and beyond. Now, I know what you cynical Earthlings are thinking. This all sounds great, but how are we going to pay for it? Well, my friends, let's talk about the economic opportunities of colonizing Mars. Mars is practically a gold mine, or should I say a platinum mine, a rare Earth element mine. It's loaded with valuable resources that are becoming increasingly scarce here on Earth. Mining these resources could create a whole new space-based economy. Imagine asteroid mining, Martian real estate, and even space tourism. Yes, you read that right, space tourism. Once we have a sustainable presence on Mars, regular folks with deep pockets could book a trip to the Red Planet for the ultimate adventure vacation. The technologies we develop for colonizing Mars will have countless applications here on Earth, creating new industries, jobs, and economic growth. Think about the companies that will spring up around Martian transportation, communication, construction, and even entertainment. The initial investment will be substantial, but think of it as an investment in the future of humanity. The economic returns, both in terms of resources and technological advancements, have the potential to be astronomical. Let's face it, here on Earth, we humans have a bit of a track record of not always playing nicely with each other. But what if colonizing Mars could bring us together? Imagine a global effort, a joint mission to establish a human presence on another planet. Countries putting aside their differences, pooling resources, and working together towards a common goal. The challenges of colonizing Mars would require unprecedented international collaboration. We'd need to share knowledge, technology, and resources on a scale never seen before. The International Space Station shows what we can achieve together. Astronauts from different countries living and working in harmony, orbiting our planet. Colonizing Mars would require even greater cooperation and trust. And who knows, maybe in the process of building a new home on Mars, we'll learn to build a better world here on Earth. Remember when you were a kid and you looked up at the stars and dreamed of being an astronaut, an explorer, a scientist? Well, imagine the inspiration a mission to Mars would spark in the hearts and minds of young people all over the world. Think about it. Kids growing up with the knowledge that humans are living and working on another planet, that the final frontier is no longer a limit but a new horizon. It would ignite their imaginations, fuel their curiosity, and inspire them to pursue careers in STEM fields. The Apollo missions did just that. They inspired an entire generation to dream big, to study science, and to push the boundaries of human ingenuity. Imagine the impact a Mars mission would have on today's youth, who are growing up in a world facing complex challenges like climate change, resource depletion, and technological disruption. We need to inspire them to become the problem solvers, the innovators, the explorers of tomorrow. Colonizing Mars is not just about us, it's about the future, about inspiring the next generation to reach for the stars. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've been talking about colonizing Mars, but what about Earth? What if going to Mars could help save our planet? Colonizing Mars requires sustainable technologies, living in balance with the environment, and managing resources wisely. These are lessons we need on Earth. Developing closed-loop life support, renewable energy, and waste recycling for Mars creates solutions for Earth. Imagine Martian greenhouses in urban areas, or water recycling in drought regions. Mars challenges force innovative solutions for Earth's problems. Colonizing Mars is about finding solutions and living sustainably. It's about gaining a new perspective on our place in the universe. Okay, let's be real, who hasn't dreamed of blasting off into space and exploring another world? Well, with a little help from Elon Musk and his interplanetary ambitions, space tourism might not be such a far-fetched idea after all. Imagine this. You're strapped into a sleek spacecraft, hurtling towards Mars at thousands of miles per hour. You gaze out the window at the stars, a dazzling tapestry of cosmic wonders, and feel a surge of excitement, knowing that you're about to set foot on another planet. Once on Mars, you could explore ancient volcanoes, trek across red deserts, and maybe even catch a glimpse of the two Martian moons, Phobos and Deimos. Space tourism won't be for the faint of heart or the light of wallet. It'll be a journey for adventurers, for thrill seekers, for those who yearn to push the boundaries of human experience. So, yeah, space tourism might sound like a pipe dream right now, but with the rapid advancements in space technology, it's only a matter of time before regular folks like you and me can experience the wonders of Mars firsthand. Okay, let's get philosophical for a moment. Why do we explore? Why do we push the boundaries of what's possible? Why do we risk it all to venture into the unknown? Is it in our nature, this innate curiosity, this primal urge to explore, to discover, to push beyond the horizon? Is it a fundamental part of what it means to be human? Colonizing Mars is the ultimate expression of this human spirit. It's a testament to our ingenuity, our resilience, our unwavering belief in the power of possibility. By venturing out into the cosmos, we are not just expanding our physical presence in the universe, but also our understanding of ourselves, our place in the cosmos, and the meaning of life itself. So yeah, colonizing Mars is not just about science, technology, or economics, it's about the human spirit, the unquenchable thirst for knowledge, the unwavering belief in a brighter future. So there you have it, folks. The top 10 reasons why colonizing Mars might just be the most exciting and important adventure in human history. What do you think? Are you ready to pack your bags and head to the Red Planet? Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to BuzzList for more mind-blowing content. And be sure to let us know in the comments what you think the biggest benefit of colonizing Mars would be. Until next time, keep looking up.